Watch that booty go. Watch that booty go. Oh yeah! How long can I carry on this filthiness? It's a sad time right now. Sad. There's great games dropping, and I just don't know what I can do anymore. I'm a humble filthiness. I don't know how long I can keep going. I don't know. Help me! Watch that booty go.
A few moments later.
Where are the games? I don't know. Oh boy, I'm in trouble.
What's up, grinders? Sirens! We're back! Crazy! We're back. Well, I'm back. Frogs, I'm trying to chase him down, man. Man, the sirens are going crazy. Oh my goodness. Horns are blowing. Craziness going on there. Grinders in the grindhouse. We're back. Frogs, if you're out there, you're listening. I've been texting you. See if you jump on here. I know we jumped on a little early, but Frogs might be jumping on a little bit. But I'm just so eager to get back into the grindhouse. I want to thank everybody for the well wishes, man. I wanted to do so many things last week, and I just couldn't get to it. Man, like on Monday, my throat was hurting. On Tuesday, it was hurting. I was coughing. I was like, I can't even carry a show. Like, I can't talk. Like, I just couldn't do it. And then, and then Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, that's when, the congestion hit, dude. And it was, it wasn't COVID, but it was a new strain. So I'm going to tell you a story just to start off where we've been as we shout out to the VIP grinders and some of the new VIP grinders. And I'm going to show some of the new emojis. But first, I'm going to tell you the story of what happened. Because it always winds up being something. Okay? So apparently, my daughter went to a party. Okay? And there was a Minnie Mouse at this party. Well, after she came back from this party, she got sick. She had this virus, this cold. Gave it to everybody in the family. I traced it back. I went back all the way. And I was like, where did this origin of this virus that I got last week, where did it come from? And I traced back to this party on Thursday night. And I was like, well, who was at this party? Is anybody else sick? Call up some of the kids. Is anybody else sick? Because this is what I got to do, grinders. I'm the detective. I got to figure out where did I get the virus from. I'm going to be coughing maybe sometime. I might be wild in here. I am drinking beer too. Actually, Hershey's Yingling. Not sponsored by it, but holy damn, this is good. So I went back and I was like, where the hell did this virus come from? So I looked and there was a Minnie Mouse at this party. So I was looking at some of the pictures and I was like, oh, damn. That's a bootleg Minnie. Just had the big head, the pajamas. I'm like, it's a friggin' bootleg Minnie virus. God, I got bootleg Minnie virus. I was like, give me her business card. Where was this? Where? You wouldn't believe it. Goddamn works for 343 Studios. Holy shit. They're hiring bootleg Minis now and they're doing friggin' birthday parties. 343 Studios right on the business card of bootleg Minnie. God damn, bootleg Minnie virus went across the whole household, got me all sick. Bootleg Minnie. 343 brought me bootleg Minnie. Oh, damn it. So, bootleg Minnie virus struck this household. The Grinds house was affected by it. Oh, man, who are you using the new ones? That's right, baby. We got some new emojis. But, yeah, brought to you by 343 and the rest of the bootleg cast that they got over there. And I've been on the search at the Targets because I've been buying medicine out the door. Robitussin, the Sudafeds, all this stuff to clear my noses. And I've been going to the Targets, and I'm looking. I cannot find Bootleg Joel, man. Bootleg Joel's in the chats. I cannot find him. If I find Bootleg Joel, I am buying him, and that will be a giveaway for this channel. I need to find Bootleg Joel. I cannot find him. I searched all the Halo toys. I knocked out all the Master Chiefs and all the other bootleg characters they got. The bootleg Cortana's in there. I want Bootleg Joel the toy. I cannot find it. I've been searching. So, if I find it, I'm giving it away. That's right, Froggy. Goddamn, 343 got me sick with that bootleg Mini. Oh, man. But then what? The bootleg mini, man. Got that disease going. Sneezing on everybody. What the hell's going on? But anyway, as you see, the grinders, the new VIP. Where is Fernando? I see him in the air at night. I want that light. Fernando. Where is Fernando? My voice is back. I'm better. Yeah, where's Fernando? Can't find him. He's singing with ABBA somewhere. I don't know what's going on. True Witty, 5-month member. The OG VIP. Xbox guys are upset over a rumor that Street Fighter 6 might be a PC and PlayStation exclusive, calling it out, but have no issue with Microsoft buying publishers. Yeah, True Witty, I got it on the grinds board. Yeah, I do. Because, you know what? It's interesting because I even heard people saying they get excited for Microsoft to buy publishers because of these moves. Dude, what is going on? It is wild. It is wild times, man. And then you look at Microsoft buying publishers, and what has it done? It done nothing. It's done nothing yet. We're still question marks and still seeing what comes out of these studios. But they buy publishers. That's the way to win, I guess. We'll see what Street Fighter 6 is going to be. It might be. It might be. We'll see. You know, they're all big Street Fighter fans over there. Well, they don't have Killer Instinct, so I guess, yeah, they must like it. But shout out to all the VIP grinders. We're going to use these new emojis. I put up a new one for the Activision deal and the things that we're going to talk about today. And I might be doing something different with these emojis, too. I might be changing them up for the content of the show. So maybe that last one will be, something that we could use during the show for a topic. Like this one, talking about the Activision Microsoft. One of the things that's going to be on the grinds board. You know, we got Phil holding up the check to Bobby Kotick right here. And another new one. We got the Phil Ness face of, like, what happens when he sees great exclusives coming out and he don't have anything. And then we got the traditional fire. You guys could use the bootleg fire if you want. But if you're a VIP grinder, use the VIP Grind House fire. Because that's the fire that's coming. And then we updated Turbo Time. We don't need text. We got Arnold himself in the emoji of Turbo Time saying that it's Turbo Time. So we are ready to go. Let's go to the grinds board. I got some topics to talk about. Frogs, whoever you are, jump on. But Grindhouse is strong. People, we got over 80 people in here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. I usually we do the gaming Grindhouse on Monday nights, 8:30. I'm doing it earlier tonight because I'm eager to get back into it. And do the Grinds Gaming Bites. I have a couple of shows I'm going to be rolling out this week as well. A couple of topics. Maybe if I don't get to them in detail tonight or want to talk more about it, we'll be doing it. Yo, True Winnie at the $2, starting it off with the super chats. He goes, what up, Jez? This gen is going to be insane. Horizon Forbidden West. Boy, you're right, boy. Dude. Oh, my goodness. Greases my gears. I'm going to tell the story about Horizon. There's a lot of stories I got to talk about, guys. A lot of stories. But, man, Horizon, oh, my God. Oh, my God. I've been taking photos like a goddamn photographer. I was showing my wife. I was like, I took that photo. She goes, you did? I'm like, I'm acting like it's a photo shoot. Dude, I'm like, I love it. Oh, my God. But let's get to the grinds. But thank you, True Witty, with the super chat. Super chat working grinders. Hit that subscribe button. Be a VIP grinder. You can be on here with Herman Holtz doing the splits, showing quality games. It's about quality games. And we got our typical people that are not allowed in the VIP grindhouse section with Booster and Bootleg Joel and Phil in his refrigerator. They can stay outside. And they got the Xbox Donuts here on the shelves back there. And Craig 2.0. But right now, Herman Holtz is doing splits. And we're going to have to change this around, too, because Herman Holtz only could do so far for his splits. We're going to have to do another VIP lounge. Stay tuned for that. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, I love it. I love it. The photo mode's incredible. That just shows quality and appreciation for the game, and we'll get into it. But let's go to the grinds board. Let's see if my stuff works. Let's see. I'm going to go to the gaming grindhouse grinds board. Let's see the list here. See if my video plays. No, it's not. Let me see. Oh, there it goes. Here we are. Oh, let me get to let me fix this thing here. Let's see if Ryan comes in here. Yo, who are you? With the member for 4 months, thank you. VIP Grinder. He goes, nothing important to say. Just glad you're doing well and feeling better, Jez. Thank you. And yeah, I want to thank everybody on Twitter and in the chat and everything. Thank you for just wishing well and feeling good. It's awesome. I want to thank everybody for their well wishes, and it was I wanted to just make sure I could put on do the show and not be coughing every minute, and I just had to take a break because I couldn't do it. But I want to thank everybody. But yeah, it was a tough week. A lot of the home renovation stuff going on, and then we got everybody got sick, and that's it. It wasn't just me; it was the whole house. So I'm like, yeah, I felt like I was making witch's brew of just of cough medicines and sneezing and tissues. Oh my goodness! I'm glad we're behind it. We still got residual stuff, but thank you again, everybody. Yes, I'm using that photo mode now. So one of the things that came out last week that I was gonna do a Grinds Gaming bite on. I wanted to talk about is this the Activision. So this whole thing with Activision, and it may be a little old for everybody, but I didn't talk about it yet. But the whole Activision thing that came out about from the CFO from Microsoft, where they basically just came out and kind of made this initiative, this promise that all future Call of Duty games, regardless of the contractual obligations to Sony, will be. Thank you, Froggy. Yeah, and we did the COVID test, to make sure, because if it was, we had to tell everybody and stuff, but it wasn't. So it definitely was. It was bootleg mini virus, but yeah, it wasn't COVID. Hey, what's up, Link? How you doing? Yeah, it's no fun, Jeff B Gaming. No fun. So the thing with the Activision thing is that it came out saying, regardless of the obligations that they were going to have, with Sony, because they said there was about 2 more years of 2 more editions of Call of Duty being exclusive, coming out on the PlayStation, and then after that, we don't know. Now, my initial thing was that Warzone was going to stay on the system, and then the yearly ones after the Call of Duty runs out on PlayStation will be kind of, the one that will then come off. But apparently, for what this initiative that they stated, and again, it's not, I wouldn't say take it with a grain of salt, because it came from the real high ups. Oh yeah, sure, I'll come on. There you go. But yeah, so basically, they said that after Sony is going to come out. Thank you, Truity. After the deal is done, they're still going to make Call of Duties, annual Call of Duty specifically, coming to PlayStation and even the Switch, they said, which is pretty crazy. And there's a lot of statement you don't spend $70 billion on on a studio to make games multiplat and things like that. You make exclusivity, and but again, it's a multiplayer game. Yeah, and I think so too. Froggy hit the nail, because I was going to go there too. What Froggy was saying is that I also think that they're playing real nice, because there is a lot of federal investigation just looking at this deal and looking at this merger between the two of them. What's up, Link? How you doing?
Yeah, you're right. What up?
Yeah, just talking about that stuff with the Activision thing at the
Activision Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah, staying on multi-platform for the years to come after the deal. So what was basically what they were saying was that it's this kind of initiative of Microsoft, and I think they're all playing a little nice too, just trying to make sure that they're not basically cannibalizing or pulling this franchise off of a lot of platforms. And actually, it seems that they're adding a platform with the Switch, with some of this stuff. What did you think about it? With this thing, were you surprised? Because I thought they were going to pull a Bethesda type thing with it after the.
No, because the thing is, I wasn't surprised. I think I said it, and I think I was on maybe Sick Humor show, and I kind of was agreeing with him when he was saying that they're going to keep it multi-platform, because that's their biggest. That's the platform they make the most money on. Why would you don't spend this kind of money not to return an investment on it? You know what I mean? Yeah. So to me, it just didn't make sense for them to make it exclusive to Xbox, because to turn around and throw it in the service, how does that to make you money? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so you don't want to cut out over half of your install base on a particular game, especially when it's a multiplayer game with microtransactions and
Yeah.
what's it called? What's the things you battle pass, all that stuff. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And if
Yeah.
you're looking at it, you already have the FTC looking at this deal
Yeah, I
already.
know.
So it just doesn't make sense for you to come out. It makes sense for them to come out for PR purposes and that they want to get this deal done and financially to keep this game on PlayStation. So, yeah, but the Bethesda deal is different because that's a single player game. It's not really a game that they can continue to monetize. I don't with some of their stuff, not all of it.
Uh-huh.
So I think with this deal in particular, it just when you look at it, it just made sense to keep it multi-platform.
Yeah. And it definitely with the FTC looking at it and moving forward, like it definitely seems that they are real open to making this kind of being this multi-plat, like similar to what they did with Minecraft, like just being this kind of publisher of all platforms. And I definitely see that with some things. I do think maybe there's some things within Activision that they might make exclusive, but otherwise the big thing was Call of Duty. Like if you talk about acquiring Activision, the big thing that people want to hear is that, oh, we're going to get Call of Duty exclusive. Now now remember, they're talking big high level type things. Now I think that they can also manipulate the game and making maybe Game Pass maybe more preferable, maybe put their own in the battle passes, maybe getting content first or things like that. Even though the game is multi-platform, I could see them possibly leveraging their system or their services to kind of entice people to come to their platform for Call of Duty, maybe, with the battle pass included in Game Pass or something along those lines. But again, I think the problem with Call of Duty right now is that they have to convince people to subscribe to get Call of Duty and not to just buy it and get the battle passes. And
Right.
and people that play Call of Duty really don't care about 199 other games. So, they'll be like, hey, for $15, you'll get Call of Duty, plus you'll get all these games. It's like, well, all I care about is Call of Duty. So why am I going to pay $15 a month when I could pay $60? I'll get my game, and then I'll pay $10 plus.
But Jazz, do you think they'll put it in Game Pass? Like, are you sure that that's going to happen?
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. That's the whole reason why. That's the whole reason why they're buying publishers. And that's the unfortunate thing with this whole situation is that it's really the first thing they say when they bought Bethesda, when they bought Call of Duty, is that we're putting their games in Game Pass, their old games and their new games. And that's the whole reason why they're buying these companies. They're not buying, and also to have that IP in their service. But they're not buying these companies to, maybe they'll revive franchises and things like that, but they're not buying them to fill in kind of like gaps in their IP or anything. Like they have tons of shooters. They're not buying this to fill in anything. They're basically buying this to control the launch of the game and putting the game in their services, plus possibly, breaking up a game. Like we'll talk about Crossfire X. But what's funny is I have here is Destin Aguirre's he was coming out there going, well, on exclusivity, you don't buy a company for $70 billion and then you basically put the game on other platforms. And basically that was countered by Microsoft themselves, kind of saying that all the Call of Duties, even after Sony's deal, will be on PlayStation. And, and that was the best move because you're right. They are huge install bases. Those are huge, basically, homes of Warzone and Call of Duty. Those are huge communities. The worst thing you can do is buy Activision and then kind of be like, yep, we're pulling it off. You'll just break those communities. You'll have people that will go find a different game. You'll have people that will then maybe buy an Xbox to play it over there. You'll just break up your community that you had there. And, that's why Sony kind of did the same thing with Destiny. Was just like, yo, we're not touching it. We're keeping this because these purchases are disruptive if they decide to go the route of pulling things off. And they're both not doing that, especially
So Jez, how do you feel about some of the fans of the Xbox platform that were very upset that Microsoft decides to keep this game multi-platform? Do you feel they're justified to be upset?
Yes, I feel like they should.
Okay.
Yeah, because they should. Because this is the thing. Like, I agree. Like, from this perspective, you would expect that when they're spending this kind of money, they're there trying to curate and bring you premium content to your console and take it away from the other ones. It's competition, you know. We're gonna leverage this. They leverage Call of Duty with the 360 age, just with new content, even with GTA. Getting the Ballad of Gay Tony and things like that. Like they leveraged content and franchises. They didn't have enough to buy Final Fantasy from anybody. Well, they could have if they wanted to. But my problem is that they're spending all this money and they're not doing it. So it kind of makes you go, then why are you investing in all this stuff if the purpose of this is not to bring exclusive stuff to your platform, and it's just to put it in Game Pass, and that's kind of where it's going,
It still adds value to their portfolio as a whole.
If they do something with it.
Yeah, but buying it just for the sake of taking it away from a particular group of gamers, I don't know if that's that's the best way to try to.
They're buying publishers, dude. That's the thing. They're buying publishers, which is not something that you would do to get exclusivity. You wouldn't buy a publisher. You would do like what Sony did, or what they even did with Rise of the Tomb Raider, where they funded the game to make it exclusive for their platform. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't go buy Square Enix to make it all exclusive. You basically buy, you pay to make the game develop, so it comes to your platform first.
You're my number one customer.
Buying publishers for that stuff, the size of the publishers that they're buying too, it's really hard to kind of justify pulling all that stuff off. But the thing is they're not Sony. And I'll tell you why the animosity is there from Xbox fans on why Microsoft is not doing this, is that Sony's doing it. Sony's doing it at a different level. But they're not doing
it like that.
No, you're right. I was about to say, they're not doing it buying publishers outright. They're doing it by funding games and identifying games like Knights of the Old Republic. And they say, okay, well, here's some money. Make that game come over here. Oh, right. The Project 8, not Project 8. What the hell is it?
Forspoken.
Here's Square Enix. Put that game on our platform. Here's some money. Put the game on there.
Or look at what they did with Capcom back on PS4 with Street Fighter 5.
It wasn't happening.
They funded that. Yep. They funded that game. That was when Capcom wasn't doing very good financially.
Exactly.
And so they funded that game to be put. So when people were upset about, there were some people on the Xbox platform that was upset that Street Fighter 5 didn't come to the Xbox platform, but Sony funded that game to be made. So
I know.
They're funding games, they're paying for exclusivity, they're doing things to add value to their platform.
You're my
they
number
don't have
one
to always
customer.
go out here and buy a huge publisher, because that's just not the way they like to do business. And they formed great relationships with these publishers. Their games sell very well. Games sell pretty well on PlayStation versus other platforms, third-party games. And so companies are inclined to make these type of deals because they know they're going to get a return on their investment.
Exactly. Yo, Andrew Wilkins, the $5. Thank you. He goes, "Sup, Jez and Grind Nation. What up with people pushing the narrative that Horizon Forbidden West bricking PS5s? Oh, goodness. One numbnut, he goes, one numbnut had their PS5 behind the hot vents of an OLED TV. Dude, the people, I tell you, they would try to do anything to give some negativity to a quality game. That's the problem. It's that's why that stuff seems outlandish, because the game is so great. And people, maybe it does crash systems, but bricking consoles. But you know what? It's not. Any game could do that. And I don't think that, any one or two people are going to try to run around with this stuff. It's just so stupid. It's just they're trying. Yo, I was watching, man. They're trying so hard, because Crossfire X was Crossfire, forget about it. That's what it was. Marcus Moore with the 199. He goes, GT7 is almost here. Xbox can't catch a break. Thank you, Marcus, for the super chat. This is the thing. We were saying it here when Forza was coming out and Halo was everybody's like, Xbox has games now. We told you. It's yeah, what comes out after Halo? Well, Xbox has games. They didn't want to hear it. I'm like, you better be careful. And I said this on this show. I know. Be careful, because what you're dishing out now, you're going to get it back 5 and 10-fold because Sony has a lineup at the beginning of this year or the rest of this year that you are not even going to be able to poke your head out of the friggin' Phil Spencer asshole that you're going to be. You're going to be so far up that ass, you better stay in that ass because you can't even poke your head out. These games are coming. Banger, 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 banger. They're smacking you back in there like a friggin' hedgehog, pounding you in that ass like, the friggin' whack-a-moles.
But
you're not coming out.
Jez, it didn't make any. I know you're talking about the games that they hit towards the end of 2021.
Yeah.
And they made a big deal out of Sony not having any games in the holiday season. Sony always leaves the holiday season for third party.
Yeah.
So they don't want to compete with the likes of Call of Duty and Battlefield and things like that in that quarter. So they don't do that. So they're very strategic about when they decide to release their games as well. And so for them to not have any console exclusive games, first party, especially, and then make this big deal that Sony has all of a sudden for 2 months, Sony has no games. Like they don't realize that there's some heavy hitters coming to the Sony platform in the first quarter of 2022. It was ridiculous.
You knew it, and you knew it, and we'll talk about like it's the last topic is like where are the first party games because it is not an issue that it's right now, but it's an issue that's been going on for so long, and we'll talk about that. The next thing, talking about Xbox games, where are the first party games? The next topic is that something came up, and I bookmarked this thing. Where that one of the people over at the stunt double studio, Crystal Dynamics, that's helping to make Perfect Dark. And thank you for those emojis. Those emojis are rocking. I love it. Keep using them, man. I'm gonna make some more, man. I love it. I see that Phil Spencer one make me laugh. So I looked over here, and basically, this the dude that's over at the stunt doubles, Crystal Dynamics, and that's helping out making this game. And again, there may be some speculation here, but I wouldn't be surprised. But so basically, Corey Butler, he's not a butler that went over there, but he is from Crystal Dynamics, lead producer. LinkedIn profile is that he specializes from the Hitman series. He made that Hitman series where that was episodic back in Hitman 2. And possibly maybe a games as a service, according to the Dynamics lead producer LinkedIn profile. Now, again, it may be a reach because it is made by, the initiative. So this is the, stunt doubles helping out, which again is a weird situation to begin with. And I don't know how that's working. Like, I don't know if they're just kind of like hosting the IP and quality control at the initiative. And basically Crystal Dynamics is the one making the characters with Joanna Dark with mutton chops and a mustache. I don't know how they do their bootleg stuff over there. But and it's a first-person shooting nonetheless, so they've been making third-person stuff. Dude, God help them all, because I don't even know what the hell Perfect Dark is going to look like. But, this kind of goes along with the speculation as to what these games are going to be. We don't know. We just seen a logo for Perfect Dark. We haven't seen gameplay. It was announced in 2019 Game Awards. Was it the 2020 Game Awards that it was announced at? And then Drew Murray left. He went back to Insomniac and now is going to be working on Spider-Man 2 and working on Wolverine. My goodness. And now, the only last news that we heard about Perfect Dark was that the studio that worked on the stunt double Avengers is now helping out the initiative. Since 2018, they were introduced. And in 2021, we get an update saying, hey, you want an update Perfect Dark? Well, we're partnering with Crystal Dynamics, another studio that Microsoft doesn't own that's going to help them. But I said, episodic? This is why this is why I say Game Pass is the curveball.
Yes.
It's a curveball because you don't know. Like, if Game Pass didn't exist and Microsoft wasn't that serious about throwing their games there day one, I would be more excited with a Fable game. I'll be more excited with a Perfect Dark game. But the fact that Game Pass is looming in the background and that's the driver of all business, I don't think Perfect Dark is going to be like a Horizon day one. 30 hours, open world. Like it's not. You're not going to get those games in Game Pass.
No, because the service is going to dictate how the game It's structured. It's going to
Exactly.
be snackable,
Snackables.
made for Game Pass. When you hear these kind of terms, made for Game
Accessible.
Pass, you want to you want to make something that's going to keep people subscribed to this service. You're going to say, okay, we'll have a season coming in 6 months. We're going to have some new DLC. You want to do things like that. You give people a little bite-sized morsel, and then you string them along and keep them subscribed to the service.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, I think with their first party, you already are seeing it with Halo.
Oh my God, Halo is the perfect example of what Game Pass does to games.
And you're going to continue to see it because they have to make games that make this service more appealing long term. You know what I mean? So people thinking they're going to get these $200 million gigantic blockbuster 40-hour open world crazy high level games, I just don't see it with the way this service is structured. Why would they spend that kind of money doing that?
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, the only game that I think has stood the test of time, but not really, because Forza Horizon still maintained its quality, but it still had a lot of different tropes that they put in. Remember the snackable stuff that they were talking about with Forza Horizon with 6? I think it was 6 that came out. Or was it 5? 5 that came out, and it was like snackable stuff, more accessible, more little arcadey, little jump on and click. I remember reading it on here. And I'm like, the focus is shifted to making more people click on your game rather than making the game a true sequel. Bigger, better, more vehicles, more dynamic stuff, maybe different locations that you could fly to or travel to, more ambition, bigger ambition, more things to do, maybe get out of your car, maybe some chase missions or cops will be there. Evolve the franchise of Forza Horizon. Instead, they just say, hey, it's Forza Horizon. Now we're in Mexico. Now we're here. And then they got the randomness. Oh, you can gift the car, so you don't have to earn it anymore. Somebody can just give it to you, so it'll keep you wanting to play and click on our game. And you just look at the mental shift of how games are being developed and how games are being manipulated to satisfy this friggin' dollar bill fill service. And that's the biggest problem. That's what grinds my gears. That's the essence of this channel is Game Pass is going to change how games are made. That's the problem. It's a lot of effort and stuff that we don't want, that we didn't ask for. Nobody asked for free-to-play Halo. I didn't. I was a diehard Halo fan. I was in the forum. Nobody was asking for free-to-play Halo. They just wanted Agent Locke and play more Halo. They didn't want... That's all people had little complaints. Compared to the complaints that are going on now that I'm going to talk about, the complaints for Halo 5 were minuscule compared to the complaints they got now. The game is practically broken. The game does not have any content.
Which Halo
Infinite. I'm saying,
oh my God.
The complaints for Halo 5 are completely minuscule to what's going
compared
on
to
now.
This game.
Halo 5 was like, you know what? We only play Master Chief for maybe 5 missions. Agent Locke really wasn't good developed. The story really wasn't what you said. But whatever. Just fix the campaign. I want to play more Chief. Dude, that was it. Like, the multiplayer was fine. Like, everything was fine. But my God, when you look at Halo Infinite, dude, they still got the same 3 maps from launch. They just fixed Big Team Battle in a hot fix. And I'm going to talk about their mid-season update. They still had delayed the roadmap of content coming both to single player and multiplayer. Dude, it is a disarray. They released a beta. It is disgusting compared to the difference in what they're doing. And you want to talk about disgusting? The next topic. Crossfire, forget about it. Dude, this game, Crossfire X, was announced in 2019 at the E3 of E3s, the show of shows. The Sony was not showing up. Sony wasn't there. Microsoft had the whole stage to themselves. Phil had the stripper pole out. It was good. It was the Phil Ness show, man. It was
the Phil Ness show. I came out with my buttons. I had the stripper pole. I was like, ooh yeah, Microsoft Theater. I'm the only show in town. Phil Ness. And I went into the crowd and I kissed the babies, hugged the grandmas, patted all the Xbox fans on their head. Oh yeah. And I said, standing in that aisle, I said, I flew to Korea. You know them. Smilegate, bringing Crossfire X to Xbox.
He was in the crowd, kissing babies, hugging grandmas, going Smilegate, Xbox exclusive Crossfire X, E3 announcement, the only show in town, stripper poles, dollar bill fills all over the place. It was the biggest show. Do you remember? It had the stage that opened up. The people were going.
One of the things I really
The fans.
is the families that are here.
Oh, the families. Phil, they were chanting his name. Throwing dollar bills on the stage. Sony was shook. Microsoft had the most powerful console. They were going to be announcing this thing. They had the only E3. Sony wasn't going to E3 because Sony was shook. 2019. Phil gets in there. Crossfire X presents by Smilegate. Who the hell is Smilegate? I looked up Crossfire X again. It looked like a bootleg Counter-Strike. God damn it with these bootlegs. The Game Night 123 with the 2. He goes, the legendary developer that no one really knew of. Yes, exactly. I called him out. Man, you go back to my shows, man. I always called out Smilegate. I gave them their props. It was a Smilegate. I'm like, who the hell's Smilegate? It's like,
You're my number one
the
customer.
legendary developer, Smilegate. Because remember, at the time, every time Phil got on a plane, it was like, Phil's going to Japan. He's bringing back games. And I said he just was going to take a shit at Sega headquarters. And then everybody's like, he's buying Sega. He flew over to Phil. He went to friggin' Japan, took a dump over at Sega. He walked out of the headquarters. He's buying them. We're getting games. And then Phil's like, I had a very good trip to Japan. I'm very excited about what we're going to announce. So, he went to Japan. He did his rounds, went around kissing babies, shaking grandmas, what the hell he was doing. He went to Korea, Smilegate. It was Smilegate that made the multiplayer, which that was a beta that came out last year during the summertime. Everybody said, forget about it. Then they had the Remedy coming out. Remedy was making the single player. Here they are. Remedy. Holy Jesus. The multiplayer. A 2.
Wow. What in the world happened?
Dude. And I'm going to say this. This is something I wanted to say last week. Crossfire X. Now, just remember, everybody, just remember this. Crossfire X is the only Xbox console exclusive game. It was only made for the console. Dude, this is not a PC port. The campaign was an exclusive Xbox game. The last time that happened, I think, was Halo 5. Was the last console-only game. Not console PC, where one family now passed the marshmallows. Yeah. Crossfire X campaign is only on Xbox consoles. It is not on PC. It is not anywhere else. This was an opportunity for them to showcase the 12 teraflops, RDNA, fill DNA in your eye, bullshit specs that they talked about for 2.5 years. This was a console-only game that could have used the 12 teraflops. This is not a user score. This is IGN score. And then the campaign is a 3. Holy shit. This is what IGN gave.
Yep, sure is.
A freaking 2 and a 3. You think that how do you give a 2 a multiplayer? It says Crossfire's multiplayer modes aren't worth the price you pay, and it's free to play. Dude, this is what grinds my gears so much. Because as an Xbox, if you are an Xbox console player, this should piss you the fuck off. You should be, are you kidding me? This is the only console game that you've given us, a console exclusive, not this PC kumbaya bullshit. This is a console exclusive that you talked about since 2019. Actually, they didn't even talk about it. It went in hiding, and then Stealth dropped it. Here, they did some Stealth beta. But this is what you waited for, from a 2019 E3 announcement to a Stealth launch in February 2022. This is it.
Where was the marketing, Jez? Where was
Dude, they didn't market
marketing
shit.
campaign?
They knew. First off, I'm going to tell you another tidbit. You want another tidbit, Grinders? Hit that friggin' like
Go
button
ahead.
right now. I'm going to give you another one. Not only was this an Xbox game console exclusive, this game was not going to launch in Game Pass. It wasn't until the last month that they basically said they were going to do this whole episodic bullshit. Because this is 3, but this is a drawn out 3. This is not even 3 for the full camp. This is a 3
You're my number
in
one
Game Pass
customer.
that you get the first season of the campaign, and then you pay $20 for the second season. It has a 41 on Metacritic. Holy damn. But this game was not going in Game Pass. This wasn't announced as a launch game for Game Pass. It only came about in the last month or so, where they said you're going to get season 1 of the campaign, and then part 2 will be that you pay for it. So season 1 is going to be in Game Pass. So this game wasn't going to be in Game Pass, because if you go look when it was announced and whatever news you could find over the last 2 years about it, this game was never a Game Pass launch title. I thought it was going to be and I mentioned it on here as well, I thought it was going to be a very interesting case to see how many people cap for it, because you really have to buy this game, and it is a console exclusive. It was a very interesting thing. It was like traditionalist, what Xbox gamers used to get. Xbox console exclusive games. You know, Sunset Overdrive, not Titanfall, but like Sunset Overdrive, those games when we used to get them. Halo 5, things like that. This was since Halo 5, that was so unique. That's why this campaign was so interesting, because it was only made for the console. Think about the opportunity that they could have had with this. It's dropping in February. Well, I didn't think it was dropping at a great time, but like this game could have came out, showed the potential of the new console, really flexed the muscles. This thing doesn't even stand a chance at a 6 or a 7. This thing is just a 3. A pair of single-player shooter campaigns that are sloppy, soulless, and mercifully brief. And you don't even get both of them in Game Pass. You get half of that shit. This is like one of those shits that you take where, like, the half comes out, but there's still another half hanging in your ass, and you just can't, like, push it out. That's what this is. You don't even get the full shit. Half the shit is bad at 3. You got to pay for the other one. You got to pay for somebody to push the rest of it out.
Okay, so didn't initially, I might have missed something, but initially that campaign wasn't going to Game Pass at all, right?
It wasn't.
Going to be sold separately, and then like at the last minute, they put part of it in Game Pass.
Yep. Exactly. And they didn't even make it it wasn't announced at all for launching in Game Pass. When he announced it in 2019, everybody was scratching their head going, Game Pass? Like, why is this not in Game Pass? You know what? Well, I'm glad to be back. Yeah, talk about. I'm gonna find that YouTube video of Phil kissing babies.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna find them.
They yeah, and I want to say that was the case, and maybe I don't know. I don't know if people could pre-order this. I'm not really sure how that would have worked, but
that was another
obviously
mess. Was the pre-order? Like it wouldn't unlock like the season 1 of the campaign and stuff like that. Like it was a mess. Like people were like, "Hi, I have Game Pass. Why can't I just play the here is this thing? Oh, here it is. Is this it? Oh, this is the crowd reaction to it now. I want where is it? That's the announced trailer. Smilegate. Where is it? Is this it? No, that's not it. I gotta get the E3 Microsoft. I'm just gonna go Microsoft E3. Xbox. Because you guys see, like, I just remember, like, it was in the freaking crowd. There it is. Yeah, it was announced at E3. Here it is, right here. I'll show you. Hold on. Where is he? Was he? Cause booty. There's the booty stinking up the stage. Hold on. Booty was stinking up the stage. He was there. We found him. Where is it? Phil, where were you? Where's Smilegate? We're kissing babies. Where are you? Hold on. I'll find him. That's it. Yeah, here it is. There he is. Look at this son of a bitch. There we go. Okay. I don't like grinders. This is the shit that we're dealing with here. Where is it? Oh, come on. Here we go. That's what I want to do. There he is. After the final Fantasy Star Online 2. That was another thing he announced. And then, well, he didn't announce that. Now here he is.
Those of you who have played Phantasy Star know that this game has influenced many of the most popular games today. So with great delight, we welcome Sega back to our stage and Phantasy Star back on Xbox. As we
A
said,
few
our
moments
goal
later.
on Team Xbox is to bring you the world's best games.
Oh, shit.
Meeting with developers, playing their games, and introducing you to their games. These are the best parts of my job. Back at E3 2017, when I first met with the creators of this next game, they shared their ambition to bring their massively popular game with its passionate community.
Whoa, 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 whoa. He said he met them back in 2017 when they pitched him this game. World's best games. You heard that, Marcus? Let's go back and hear the Phil Ness. I want the VIP grinders. Give me that Phil Ness face. I want his ass right in my chat right now. I want that Phil Ness face. This is the stuff that grinds my gears, man. This is the stuff that he holds your head. And this is what I mean. This is in 2019. The hopes and prayers, the podcast, the fans. Oh, he's turning it around. He's turning it. Phil. And now we're on 2022. And look at the shit this was. So tell me, where's Fable, Perfect Dark, Avowed, all these other games? What are they going to look like? If this is how he was talking and what we're getting. The carpet don't match the drapes. This is the shit that I'm talking about. This is exactly what it is because we are here. What is it? 3 years later. 3 years later of this promise. Hear how he talks. And then you see people taking his words now, today, about the future and rubbing their nipples about it. Oh, Phil, you're going to save us the next 5 years. Dude, he has no concept of a great game. He hasn't released one since he's been employed.
Star back on Xbox.
And the multiplayer is big. It's like,
As we said,
yeah, hear this.
our
Oh,
goal
Jesus.
on Team Xbox is to bring you the world's best games.
world's best games. Oh,
Meeting with developers, playing their games, and introducing you to their games. These are the best parts of my job. Back at E3 2017, when I first met with the creators of this next game, they shared their ambition to bring their massively popular game with its passionate community of 650 million PC players to the entire world. I'm happy to announce our partnership with the legendary team at Smilegate. Their approach to game design demonstrates sheer creative boldness. Next year, you'll discover the newest entry in this landmark franchise. On console, for the very first time, only on Xbox. This is Crossfire X.
World premiere.
That shit's not coming through your screen. I smell it. Get the hell out of here with this guy. Do you hear? Do you see? You know the movie Event Horizon, where he's holding up the people's eyes and they're all blood, and he's holding them, he's like, do you see? Do you see? Do you see? Do you see? Look! Like, what the, like, dude.
Oh yeah, that was me in 2019. They told me that it was very popular.
Like, I can't even talk. This is fucking joking. Because I knew of the video because I remember him saying, but I didn't remember all that detail and blowing smoke up their ass that he included, and then seeing the glorious, he said,
Jez, you know what's funny? Even when Microsoft does one of these type of deals, it's terrible.
It's horrible, dude.
It does,
back alley friggin' jerk arounds.
Sony has some misses sometimes, but they do have some hits like seafood. They make deals.
Some hits, like they have some less.
But Microsoft, their exclusive deals don't end up being very good.
I can't like this is. He announced this game. This is. I'm not even gonna get to the friggin' topics. This is the thing. Like, he announced this game. Where is his pride? He sounds proud. Where was he for 3 years to ensure that this met up to what he promised? And it's the same problem I had with him when $500 was announced for the Xbox One X and he got laughed off the stage, and he went back on stage and announced a $500 Series X. I'm like, don't you learn? Like, if you're putting yourself out there as the CEO, as Xbox boss, and you're announcing this game, like, he didn't have the dudes from Smilegate kind of come on via friggin' Microsoft goddamn Teams or some bullshit like that to announce their game. Phil went out in the stage like with the fans and loving them, going, I brought this to you, bitches. Like, where is your pride as a boss? That's why this is so shallow Microsoft bullshit that drives me crazy, because he doesn't care. When it comes down to the game and the quality, he don't give a shit, because he let Crossfire X come out the way it came out. He didn't give a shit.
Hey, Jazz, do you think they knew the game was messed up like before it came out?
And why was it messed up? Like, the thing is what kind of deal did you make? You said you talked to them in 2017, and now it's 2019. 2 years after they talked to you about the game. Now, 3 years later, the game comes out. It's a fucking 2 and a 3. Legendary game.
Wait. So this been in the works since 2017?
That's what he said. The game itself has been around since 2011, like on PC.
Right.
But they
on PC,
a campaign to him and bringing this to console in 2017. Probably when he was taking a shit, and he was shitting next to the guy that made at Smilegate. And the guy's like, hey, that shit smells. I'll give you something that smells. I got Crossfire X. He goes, oh, there's an X in the name. We got an Xbox. Let's make the deal happen. Like, I don't know where the fuck this went down. But 2017, this wasn't like Phil just like got a whiff of somebody's asshole and went in their door and made an offer. He's been talking about this game with them since 2017, 2019, and now in 2022 it releases. Like, where were you? Where was that stinky ass booty? Where's your quality control? You acknowledge it every friggin' time.
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years.
We got work to do there. When I think about Xbox, I think about quality games. You said that in 2019 in that friggin' interview. How can you continue to let this shit come out after the Halo Infinite debacle? Like, listen to his little story.
Games and introducing you to their games. These are the best parts of my job.
This is the best part of his job.
At
He
E3
gets pride in this. bringing you games of this caliber.
2017, when I first
Wait, there it is. We got to hear it in the back from other people because this is
you the world's
Yeah,
best
wait.
games. Meeting with developers, playing their games, and introducing you to their games.
Playing their games.
These are the best parts of my job. Back at E3 2017, when
E3 2017.
I first met with the creators of this next game, they shared their ambition to bring their massively popular game with its passionate community
PC
of
legend comes to Xbox
650
One.
million PC players to the entire world. I'm happy to announce our partnership with the legendary team at Smilegate. Their approach to game design demonstrates sheer creative boldness. Next year, you'll discover the newest entry in this landmark franchise. On console, for the very first time, only on Xbox. This is Crossfire X.
Painful. Awful. 41 Metascore. Dude, do we need any better visual to this? Do I need it?
Legendary team
Do
at
we need another
Smilegate.
visual? Grinders.
Their approach to game design demonstrates sheer creative boldness. Next year, you'll discover the newest entry in this landmark franchise. On console, for the very first time, only on Xbox. This is Crossfire X.
World premiere.
I catch my breath. Dude, like, this is... I don't get it. How can you sit there? And everybody's like, oh, we miss E3. We need E3. Why? So the guy could, like, lie and spit in your face? Like, and this is not even gameplay. And this is why I even question, and that's the main thing I don't get to, is like, this is not even gameplay. This is not even, like, anything. It's just some CGI bullshit. And you see what happens. Exactly, Ghostface. This is a reason why the grinders come here. And we got over 150 people. Hit that like button. I don't forget. And this stuff hurts. This stuff hurts because this is the shit. When I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Maybe they're coming. And you see people, oh, it's an Xbox console exclusive. They're bringing back console exclusives. You know, they've been given PC exclusives. Now console is exclusive. And then see when it comes out. And then sit here and get on an Xbox podcast and go, oh my God, they should buy more studios. They should have more partnerships. They should bring back all this IP. They should do this. Oh, they got so many games. Here's my fanboy list of all the games and all the studios working on games. Yay! Give me the lotion. Pass the tissues. Like, what the, like, don't you learn? Like, don't you learn? Look at what they're giving you. Well, go look at Halo Infinite forums. Go look at what they're giving the fans. They're jerking them off with sandpaper. Pause. It's a waste of time. But you could sit here and tell me, fearmonger, you don't know what you're talking about. Xbox is back. My asshole's back. Come on. He could have made 1 million people present this thing. No, oh, there it is. First to console, Xbox, and this is the whole point I want to show it, because look, first to console on Xbox One. Oh, it did say Game Pass there. Is that what it did say Game Pass? So I guess I just remember people saying it wasn't on Game Pass. Maybe when they put it in their Xbox Wire, it wasn't on Game Pass. There was something where it dropped off.
I want to say they put out a statement saying that
maybe that was the campaign. That was the multiplayer. Maybe the campaign. There was something where it dropped off. Like it was not. It was on an Xbox Wire or something where it said it wasn't on Game Pass. But believe me, the game got too much of my time right now. All I'm gonna say is like, I have no inclination of even friggin' downloading. Everybody is sort of like, don't waste your time doing it.
I started to be a little concerned when we weren't really seeing anything.
Well, that's what a lot of their games, dude. That's the problem. That's the problem with that stuff.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get now. We need. We got the 9 o'clock. We're doing the palate cleanse. Everybody, the 7th inning stretch. We need a palate cleanse. I'm done. I'm tired of talking about shit, stinking up the place. All right, now, on the other end of the spectrum, Horizon Forbidden West. My God, my God, my God.
I got it. Yes.
This thing, and I put it as a palate cleanse because I knew I would lose my voice if I put too many of these bullshit Phil Ness topics next to each other. So I need a palate cleanse. There's something to cool the tongues. Let's cool our tongues. So this is the thing, like, and it goes, we'll just piggyback right off of what you're saying. When you said that they didn't show the game, they didn't show that much of it. Look at how much Sony showed of Horizon Forbidden West. Even after its delay, they continue to show the characters, the enemy types, the tribes, the capabilities that you can have, the traversal. I make sure I don't say transversal. Traversal that she has, the new mechanisms, the things that, and they kept just peeling back the onion more and more. And know what's crazy, Link, is that then when I play the game, I'm still just blown away with the amount of stuff that you can do and the things that I'm seeing on this thing and the things that I'm doing. So even everything that they've shown, because remember, it's a lot of times people use it as an excuse. Oh, they don't want to spoil the story. That's why they're not showing you Gears 5. Oh, they don't want to spoil the story. That's why you're not seeing a lot of Halo Infinite campaign. They don't want to spoil that epic story. And then when you play it, it's like it wasn't epic at all. Gears 5, that was the lamest ending that I was just like, huh? Like, okay, that's what we did. That's it. It was a pretty good CGI work and some, I think, good work differently that they did. But the story really wasn't that great. It wasn't memorable at all. And then you look at Halo Infinite, and that was just that was an intro. That wasn't even a story. But they didn't show the campaign because people said they don't want to spoil it. They showed a whole bunch. Nick, they didn't even want to say what the pilot's real name was. They're like, oh, no, we can't say it. That's why they called him the pilot. That's why he got the name Bootleg Joel, because he didn't have a name. And they said, oh, it's part of the story. Really? That character wasn't even developed that well that I gave a shit if his name was Fernando or not. He was annoying. He was whining. And if you really want to go into the character, all of a sudden, because Master Chief kind of pokes him in the, pats him on the ass after the guy breaks down going, I'm not even a pilot. I don't even fly planes. I was running away. And Master Chief is like, it's okay. We all got a job to do. After that, the guy becomes Master Chief's friggin' workhorse. All of a sudden, he's like, okay, Chief, I'll fly you wherever you want to go. I was complaining about going home to see my family, but, I just wanted to go home. But now that you told me that, things change and you got a mission and, okay, well, I don't want to go home anymore. Now, where you want to go, Chief? And now all of a sudden, he's your pilot buddy that just flies you everywhere and you call him in to drop in goddamn warthogs. That's the most shallowest bullshit off. But they held off his name because that was an important story thing. Dude, when you look at how much they showed with Horizon and showed every part of that, they showed the voice characters, they showed you stuff. There's still so much to this game. They did the same thing with Days Gone. They showed you a lot of the game, but it didn't make the game any boring or anything like that. And there's ways, exactly, who are you? There's ways to show it where you don't spoil the game.
Right.
And with Horizon, they showed so much over a year of content that this game still hits when you're playing it. And my God, I can't believe, and I'm just gonna say, my initial impression was when I saw the visuals, they start you off in like a CG, like a store, like in cinematics and stuff, even though it's in-game models and stuff, but they're polished up a little bit. But as soon as that thing, they know exactly what they're doing, dude. They know exactly what they're doing. They knew that when they handed that off to you, it was going to be an oh shit moment. And when you're just like, oh my God, this is what I'm controlling. Now, I'm going to admit, the Horizon story, the first one, I thought it was told a little rough. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on, but it was interesting. And what I liked about
You're my number one customer
of it at first, well, at the end, was this whole future past dynamic. Like you're fighting futuristic things in this kind of like primal setting. And the dynamic is friggin' insane. And it's the most incredible use of an IP, I think, of really showing something that's brand new, never really been kind of done, where you're fighting you're doing basically Terminator in a primal setting. Pretty insane. The game night 1, 2, 3. Sony's marketing equals Claw Striders appearing. Claw Striders appearing across the world. Microsoft's marketing shoot a guy out of a cannon. Or they'll like show like an Xbox refrigerator light up in the middle of Piccadilly Square or something like that. They'll like have some fireworks or something. But man, when you control this game and you see, actually, you know what? I got my video here because I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to go from the beginning. But even the way they did the here, I'm gonna have it where I'm just gonna hold on. Let me make sure this is this. But even the way they did the tutorial, it was friggin' awesome. And this is from my stream. If you caught it, I was on the stream. Yeah, no spoilers, everybody. No spoilers. I was just talking about, we're not going to talk about this, but I'm going to say the way they did it, the way they did the tutorial was pretty awesome because like you're kind of like getting to use the new stuff and excuse me, and kind of teaching somebody how to navigate, how to move around, and you're getting also new abilities as well. And she's kind of telling the story, and it's starting off the new story and recapping kind of what happened. But the way they did it was really awesome. And then they kind of take you, and you're actually in the original section, like the first city, the Sun City that you're in the first game, and you're kind of seeing this in like the new generation version. And then you're gonna go to the west. You're going out west, and your journey begins. And the way it opens up and the intro scene, like they know that the way they're showing the stuff was just jaw drop. My jaw was on the floor the whole beginning of it. But the one thing that I wanted to bring up in my impressions of this is that it's not just visually, like it's not just a looker. It's also they fixed tons of stuff from the first. Like they evolved it into the second game. They made her hand-to-hand combat, her abilities, her crafting, all the things improved to make you have a fighting chance, to make you be more intimidating in the beginning to the world. And that's another thing that they did, because in the first game it was her finding herself. She was very huffy puffy. She was like, oh, what's this? Oh my, what's this? Like just kind of whiny a little bit. It was a little annoying, but she just was just very unsure about everything. And then near the end, and she kind of like kept going to that guy's silence, like, tell me what's going on. Oh, what is this? What is this? Who are these people? And she's just huffing and puffing the whole game. But at the end, she finds who she is and her identity. It's almost like an origin story. Because now in the second one, everybody now kind of knows who she is and what she did. And they treat her differently. And she's more humble. But she does have an edge to her now. She doesn't have that kind of huffy puffy. Now she's like, I know what I got to do. Get out of my way. She's more that now in the second one than then the first one. And they make that in her responses, the way she talks to the characters, the way she interacts with them. She's being like, I know what I got to do. Get out of this is my mission. Move. I know who I am. I know what my purpose is. And that was the difference. And it's incredible how they've taken such detail. And that's the key word. This should be Horizon detail, because the details are in everything. They have done so much. Like, it is insane that you just need to like just go into photo mode and just zoom in on a face, and you go, this is an open world game. You're getting this detail on her eyeball, on her eyelashes, and then pull back and you see the mountains and the trees in the distance and the animals there, and your world is alive. And that's the other thing. I think they've done such a great job with the world. This world now looks like a future that's been overgrown of a doomsday that has happened. Like some stuff has went down, and now everything just overgrew. There's no real like paths, and just there's so much overgrown stuff, so much density. It's insane. I thought Ghost of Tsushima had a lot of stuff going on with the trees and the leaves and all that stuff. This is just beyond anything I've ever seen before. But it's also, they added combat that improved her combat, her movements, the hook shots, the parachute, that she can now get a higher perspective of something, and she could climb on pretty much anything, which you just highlighted, and you could climb scale mountains to get secrets, which it's like almost Zelda-esque, where you could kind of climb everything, but there's no stamina or anything like that. But the fact that she could just scale these mountains, it's insane. And I just was so impressed with just what the game looked like, but also everything that they did to improve it. And I was amazed. NPCs, dude. The NPCs, dude, like on the link, but you've seen the detail in the people in the village, like these villages. And that's what I did in the beginning of this video. Oh, actually, excuse me. Let me show you what I did in the beginning of this video. This I was just messing around with the world. But like this video here, the first stream that I did, and I don't know if it was coming in clear, but like when I went into this pub, and this is what I wanted to show here. This is the NPCs, right? And the side missions are awesome too. I don't know, Link, how many side missions you did, but man, you see, game night scale 3. I've been climbing everything game night, and then you find the plants in there that help you with dyes and stuff. Yeah, Link. Well, sorry, I was going on. I was just gushing over this game.
I've done quite a few side missions, lots of side missions. The quality of the side missions is much higher than they were in the first game. It doesn't feel like a fetch quest.
Nope.
They don't feel tacked on. So I've done quite a few side missions. I'm very much invested in this game. And I can't say that about the first one. Initially, when it first came out, I put it down to start playing Breath of the Wild. Yeah. But honestly, like, the quality of this game is improved in every way, in every single way. So Layla is more confident as a character now. She seems like a hero. The dialogue. I mean, this game, they just took it up to another level with this game. Graphically, obviously, it's a beautiful game, but the story and the side missions, the characters seem to have personality. They're all, I mean, like in the first game, one of the problems a lot of people had was when you were having dialogue, it was kind of like they would zoom in on the person's face. There really wasn't, it was just, you
it was a little awkward, yeah.
Awkward. You can tell that even the interaction between the side characters is mocapped.
Yes, and that's the thing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
put more effort into the game. You can just see it. I mean, the game is blowing me away.
I know, it's insane. And this is an example that I wanted to point out here. The first pub that you go into, just look, and from the video here, and it's not going to be the great, but just look at your transition of going from this big, huge, incredible open world to now this pub. But look at the life of this pub. This is when I walked into this thing, like I felt like I just wanted to like talk to everybody. It was it looked there was so much going on in this pub. Like when you just walk in, it looks like you really, like I felt like Game of Thrones style. Like you're just walking into this pub where there's like a lot of stuff going on with the atmosphere. Like look how cool this is.
It's like a living world.
It's a living world. Like there's so many different. Yeah. You don't see like tons of looped animations. Like there's that guy just talking around in the corner. Like everybody's kind of doing this stuff. Yo, what's up, Frogs? How you doing?
Yeah, man, I got your message late.
No problem, man. No problem. But
trying to prepare for the Witch Queen, man. Trying to get my vote right. Yeah.
I'm talking about
download the thickness bill.
Oh man, yo, we're talking about Horizon. I'm talking about walking in that first pub. How incredible!
Amazing.
Have you been playing? You've been playing Destiny a lot. I've seen. Frog playing. Destiny.
I've been playing Horizon. I've been playing Destiny. I got a buddy. He's been playing Horizon, and he's kind of not intentionally. I don't think he realizes it, but he's been kind of like in my chat group that I'm in. He's just been sending pictures of spoilers, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, that's a spoiler."
Oh, yeah,
he's like, "Oh, it's just
watch." Yeah.
He's like, "No, but it's just the atmosphere I'm in." I said, "Yeah, but you're somewhere that I'm not, and wherever you are, it's gonna apparently for me." it's going to spoil it for me. He just sent me a picture of this environment, and I'm like, obviously, there's something in the picture that you are not really probably paying attention to. You think it's no big deal, and I said, what's going to happen is I'm going to see it, and I said it'll be like, me sitting there and then like playing this game, and then you see the Verrazano Bridge, and you're like, oh shit, the Verrazano's in there,
Oh
and he sent me a picture, and you know what I'm saying? That's not in the game, but what I'm saying, just for instance, so he sent me a picture of just environment and it's spoilers, and I'm like. And then he like sent me. He's like, "Oh man, you got to check this animal." And I'm like, "Hey, dude, this is the kind of game
are crazy. Like,
you got to stay away from. Yeah, you got to stay away from people who are playing this game. I think there's something you play individually. You stay out of chats and everything because people are accidentally spoiling things. Like, because he's sending me pictures of animals that I'm like, dude, it has a big eyeball over it with a slash to it, so it's a spoiler. Are you serious? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's an animal I have not seen yet. I have not found. So it's a spoiler to me. To you, it's a big deal. But he's kind of like he's going through the game. He's just rocking through the game. And I'm like,
yeah, you gotta watch.
I don't play Horizon like that or any open world game. I usually play every side mission up until the point where I can't.
This one, dude, I've been going around just exploring all the stuff and the side missions.
What the hell? Wine coolers? What the hell?
Dude, wait, listen. I'll make everybody listen to my stream here because, like, I listened to this. This lady starts dancing on the table. Listen to this.
So much going on in this pub.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, hear what I'm saying.
And then just transitions right out. Look at dudes dance on a table. This is what they're doing over at the initiative right now. This is what they're doing. They're like, what is our game? They're like, I don't know. There he is. That's what the initiative's doing right now. That's why there's no games.
I'll just stay.
Dude, I don't know if you heard it. They're dancing on the table drinking. I said, that's what they're doing at the initiative over there because they're just standing on the table going, what's the game is? I don't know.
Stay away from Twitter and stuff, man. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know if this is like this is probably not the first.
No, I'm just talking about just the early impressions of it. I'm not going through the whole thing.
I like the game from what I played. I think it really capitalizes on everything the first one did, but in such a bigger and better way. I would hands down say, the water, the water,
yes,
is gorgeous. And I don't know if you guys talked about it yet or not, but I'm playing it at the
Resolution.
The Resolution.
Yeah.
Resolution. I can't play it in performance. That performance mode
it's so fast. It's fast.
What happened is this is what happened. I was in a part of the game right at the beginning where I found a cave by accident. Like I dove in the water, I found this cave, and I went there. There were like these blue like fungi or fungies, like whatever.
Oh, they're
and the bottom was like the water. Right. Well, they were like, no, there's some kind of fungus. Like there were lights. And so I was standing on this ledge and I looked down and I was like, now that kind of looks kind of blurry, but I'm thinking because it's in water, it looks blurry. And then I changed that resolution mode. I was like, yo, this looks so much. That just being in that cave, diving in the water, I didn't want to play it in performance mode. And this big BS on Twitter. And I don't know what it is with PC guys and Xbox guys. Because they're basically like the same in one. They're the same people.
They're the same people.
Like, these guys, man, they're like, it's unplayable at 30. I'm like, dude, stop sucking on the fucking graphics card cop. Like, it's not unplayable. It's not. It may not be your preferred way to play, but it's nowhere near unplayable. I don't know why they use the word unplayable, and people were like, well, it's you're right. It's not.
Well,
like when I think
the
of
option's
unplayable,
there to play performance. If you feel 30 is unplayable, 30 to 60 is there.
But Jazz, the thing is, both options run smooth and don't really drop frames. But you're having people say it's unplayable.
No.
At a 30, I'm like, yo, what's wrong? And I just see a lot of people saying that. I'm like, yo, you guys obviously didn't play in the PlayStation 1, the 64 generation again. Like you guys are weird. They're weirdos.
Yeah, go ahead, Frog. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's just a weird thing when you see the word unplayable. I can see it because I think unplayable. I'm like, okay, what's broken?
30 Frog Cyberpunk at 30 frames is unplayable. That's not 30 frames.
No, I can't play that. That ray tracing mode is
that is disgusting. That is disgusting.
Yeah, that's nothing for me.
That's horrible.
And it's a shooter.
Yeah. You can't play. This is what I'll say about the game. I'm playing it in performance mode. I cannot play it in 30 FPS mode, not because it's unplayable, but because I started the game at 60. I flip back over to the 30 FPS mode, and yeah, it looks clearer, but to me, it's not a huge difference. I mean, there's a difference.
It's a huge difference to me.
Well,
what are you playing it on? What are you playing on?
PS5.
No, I'm saying
the screen.
What kind of screen are you playing on?
Oh, I have a Sony 900H 4K.
Yeah, see, I'm playing on an LG C1 OLED, and it's huge.
No, my TV has got a really good picture quality, so no, I can tell that there's more detail in the 4K. I can tell that. I mean, I flip back and forth, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But after a while, though, the performance is incredible. Like when you're fighting somebody,
no, it is.
The performance mode is great. Is pretty.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like, because when my game booted up, it automatically, for some reason, most of my games usually go straight to 60. This game, when I booted up, it was right in the 30 mode.
Maybe, Frog, you're in the beta thing. Maybe it reset your settings.
Oh, that's what it could be.
On your PlayStation.
You're my number one customer.
Settings on your PlayStation 5 in the settings, you can have it to default to performance or resolution.
All my
Frog's an elite player. He got the beta. He can't talk about it.
All my games and my settings, all my games are set to that performance. I want the best performance.
Fimoa says here, he goes with the $4.99. He goes, if you play resolution mode, turn down the motion sensitivity. It helps.
Oh yes.
And know what else? I did performance mode and turned off the motion blur in performance mode, and it looks good too.
I mean, like, because it's a lot 30, and it just doesn't bother me to play a game that I'm playing by myself.
I know what you're saying.
For the story, it doesn't really bother me to have that. That 60 is not a big deal to me. And I always said this, like when I played Ghost of Tsushima, I couldn't graphically tell any difference between that resolution and performance mode. This game, I can tell. This is the first game. This is the first game that I've played where I'm like, yo, I can tell that the resolution mode is definitely a bit like when I'm playing that freaking checkerboard, dynamic, whatever it is, resolution they got, because it's some weird thing. It's checkerboard and dynamic, which is weird. And when I played it, for some reason, when I was playing in 60 mode, I was like, oh, this feels good. You can tell 60. But for some reason, there was like a look on the environment. Everything looked kind of like, it had this like this glassy look to it. It didn't look right. And as soon as I put in that resolution mode, it went away. I could definitely tell. Like, and so I just stuck with the resolution mode because I was like, yo, I'm not actually playing against other. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I'd rather play everything at 60. But the thing is, this is the first game I think I could tell like a huge difference between the performance of that resolution. It's a big difference when you go from that performance and then you see the resolution mode. I couldn't go back. I wanted the beauty of the game.
I think the other reason why is because there's such dense environments that there's a lot of trees and things like that when you change it, when you're turning that, you see the blur a little bit in that. But I think what the point of Frog's getting is like it's not. I think everybody has their preference, whether 60 or 30.
Right.
I don't think it's like
60.
I don't think it's like 60 frames or death that he's saying that people are like,
there you go.
Hey, 30 frames. It's I'm not playing the game if it doesn't have a 60 mode. Like if you want to play the game, I'm playing the game.
I've seen people say that if this game couldn't run at 30, I'm just gonna wait till it comes to PC. I'm just like, hearing all this
there
bullshit,
you go. That Frog, that's why it's a different narrative. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that they're begging for the PC port of it. That's what it is.
They don't want to pay the money and they want everything in fucking Game Pass.
All right.
I think
don't let them wait. Let them all wait because they're gonna probably need a 50-60, a 50-80 by the time this game comes out to the PC.
I would definitely say that
3 years from now.
There have been a lot of people talking about the game. The majority of the people, 9 times out of 10, the majority of people who have something really negative to say, they primarily play on PC. Not even Xbox.
I need a crying emoji.
There's something wrong with these PC guys. They're fucking fickle, man. Because I don't see the game on PC looking as good, but for some reason they got a problem.
They're waiting for Steam summer sales.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. You get a good game, and I don't care if it's my whole thing is like. You play a game like this and you're like, hey, it improved on so many different levels from the first one, but you're finding the smallest little things to nitpick about that you can't even give anything. This is not Crossfire X. This is not dude. Go play this and then go play Halo Infinite. And Halo Infinite is a huge franchise. Halo is a huge name, and this is what I expected from Halo. Just that big upgrade, that big difference. No, we didn't get that.
Yo.
But when you say that, you're a
pipe cleaning
fanboy.
trees.
No, you see, I don't get that. You know what it is? It's those group of people who don't want better. They either want to steal shit from developers and publishers, the PC guys, or they just want everything in a fucking service that they don't want to pay for, the Xbox guys. And I hate to put it like that because it sounds like some fanboy shit. But I get so sick and tired of these guys and girls, but most of the guys that just play the game, enjoy the game, either performance resolution. You're nitpicking every single thing about a good game, but games that come out that are shit, you're like, oh, this is probably the game of the year. Crossfire X, probably the game of the year.
Oh, we
like,
just talked about Crossfire X.
What's wrong with you guys? Like,
yeah, I know.
That's why I'm gonna tell you, man.
Well, Halo's back with goddamn pipe cleaner trees. You imagine if Halo looked like this or anything like it?
Bro, I'd shit my pants. I thought Halo was gonna be. This is what we should expect from Halo.
You know what's funny?
That's my whole point,
you know what's
Jazz?
funny? This Horizon basically looks like what they show with the initial demo of the shit space engine. When they show the him and yada, they show the the day we arrived on the planet, and they show the cows and the rams and all. That's basically Horizon they showed. The slip space engine.
Yo, Impatient Fire, shout out to you, man. They aren't even real PC guys. They're Xbox dudes behind. Dude, most of the PC guys I know were Xbox dudes. I can't think of too many PC guys that were not primary Xbox dudes, and they're fucking messed up and mad because Xbox is doing such a horrible job of giving them great software that they rather shit on anything else from any other company. I don't get that. Like, fucking ask for better and support your shit that you want. Like, I don't get these guys. They either want to steal shit or they want everything to burn. Like, that's the industry you want. This industry will die if you think like that. And you shouldn't want that. I don't know. Like, I think this game, from what I'm playing, I'm gonna slow burn it like I did the first one. Dude, it took me 8 months to beat the first one. The reason it took me 8 months is because I didn't want to know life it. I really wanted to get into the environment and lore. And the first one, Breath of the Wild, came out. And this is the same thing that's happening with this game, which I think is good and bad. You got big games coming out so close to this game. And so what I think is...
Frog, I'm showing it right here, Frog. This Halo slip space engine looks like what Horizon is.
Oh, my God. It looks like what Horizon does in real time.
Exactly.
So, look, I just hear me?
I don't get it.
Oh, yeah, there. Like, I
hear you. So, listen, I'm going to tell you about my experience with the game. The game does look noticeably better in the 30 FPS mode. I'm not playing it in 30. If 60 FPS is an option, I'm playing at 60. The difference, it's a 9-day difference. I mean, 30 feels like a slideshow when you play after you play at 60. So the game still looks good to me at 60. I mean, I paused the game and switched back and forth between the modes, and I can tell there's way more detail and there's some shimmering and stuff like that in the performance mode, because of the checkerboarding or whatever. But it still looks damn good to me. So
yeah, no,
it looks good either way. But I think for me, playing on my OLED, I noticed the resolution. I could tell immediately. It was a big night and day difference, and I didn't feel like slideshow. Like if it was an unlocked 30 and it was just going up and down, it's locked, and I was like, yo, okay, this runs through. I'm fine with this. So it didn't bother me. But that resolution, that flickering in that performance mode, it kind of looked like it was glass on everything, like it was a shimmery look. And I was like, yo, what is this? I don't know what it was.
On it, but to me, it still looks really good. Yeah, the resolution mode does look a lot better, but I'm gonna take that performance every time. So
let me ask you this question: do you think? And this I know it's preference. Do you think that from what you played? Because like I said, I went back and forth, and the resolution is what got me. It just made me want to stay at 30 because it was locked. I haven't found an instance where I'm like, yo, this dropped frames so fucking hard. There is some popping
too, though, with the 30. There's a little popping sometimes.
Let me ask you this question: did you feel like it was like there's something that's at 30 frames per second? And did you feel like there was something mechanically wrong with the game where you could not play it?
I don't like the combat at 30 FPS. It just doesn't feel good to me. Especially after playing it at 60. If 30 was the only option, I would enjoy it at 30. But if you're going to give me 60, I'm going to take it.
Did you play the first one?
Yeah, of course.
Let me ask you a question. Did you beat it on a PS4 Pro, I'm guessing?
I beat it on the PS4 Pro. I beat that and I beat Frozen Wilds on the PS4 Pro.
because I guess for me, like I played the first one and until they did the enhancement of the 60 frames, I played a lot of these games at 30 and I never had a problem with it. I guess like Ghost of Tsushima, like I said, like when I went from 30 to 60 back and forth, I could not tell a difference resolution wise. This is like that. You know how like Spider-Man, when you play Spider-Man.
You know why, Frog? Because there is no difference. And with that game, they gave you the option to toggle back into the classic mode, but the game ran at the same resolution and everything, regardless of which.
Yeah, and I think for me that's why I was like, oh, I'm good. There's a 60 with this game. When I switched, when I was in that 30, and I was like, let me try the 60. I definitely noticed how much smoother it was with the 60. But it was this shimmery look on the game. For some reason, I couldn't shake it. Like when I was doing certain things, I was like, damn, like something about this game, like it's got this look on it. It's bothering me. And when I went back to that 30, I was like, nah, I can't do the shimmery thing. It was egging me on. And I was like, I'm cool with playing at 30. Now, if they can get this game, which I do think there will be another
like a
option.
middle, like a ray trace performance mode?
I think there's going to be a middle ground, maybe a 1440p, something 60. I think there's going to be another option. And I do think, and I think it was either me, Link, or somebody was talking about, what if they just instead of checkerboard, maybe it's a checkerboard, maybe they should have just went for a straight dynamic resolution in the 60 and let it go up and down, because I don't know, I think I would take the native 1440p and 60 or something. Is there something about that checkerboard and that dynamic scaling it does? It gives things like this glassy look. Like you see a white outline around them when I'm playing it in 60. I'm like, yo, there's a white, crazy. And I can't.
Yo, what about the sky, Frog? Like, my God, the sky looks unreal. I was just looking at my gameplay.
Let me ask you this: do you think it's because I'm playing on an OLED? Because I think that's
I don't know. I'm playing on a friggin' projector, the Grinds Theater. So I do it on resolution, man. It looks friggin' good.
I got an LG C1 OLED. That's what I'm playing.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know if you're on game mode. Do you have game mode on or?
Yeah, I got game mode on. Like I have it set up to I play all my other games, right? But like I said, this is the first. This is the first.
Now, Sam Ash says he notices the shimmering too. Like
this is the first game that I've ever noticed that and like I said, this is the only reason I'm playing at 30. Because it's the first game that, to me, it made that much of a resolution difference from going from that resolution to that performance mode. Because, like I said, and it was weird because all my games are set up to play at performance. I'll play 60 everything. This game, when I started, I don't know why or another, it started at 30, and I was like, damn, this game is pretty. But like I said, damn, this don't feel right. And then I went in my settings. I was like, oh, it's not playing at 60. And as soon as I switched it over to 60. I started playing it, and I was like, oh, yeah, this feels good. But I said, damn, something's off about the graphics. And it's when I went to a cave and there was some water, that some reason that kind of set the tone of like, I can't do this with the water. It was something about the water and something about the shit. I couldn't do it. And
isn't it amazing, though, like how much life there's under the water? Like when you go under these
gosh.
I can't believe, like, it's just a whole, and then the fact that she could use it to catapult off of stuff, like it's a whole other
there's
way.
Stuff that's going on in this game that I'm finding out when I'm going in the water that I didn't know I could do. Yeah. And I'm like figuring it out by accident.
Dude, I'm climbing mountains, I'm parachuting off of them. Like I'm just doing everything. Like
there's stuff. I just got my glider, and that's pretty early in the game.
Dude, oh my God. That fight, I'm not spoiling it. Like
that right there, that section right there, that really I was
that like, that didn't happen in the first game. Like that.
No, that should have been that's a TV show moment. That was a big TV. This should have been a fucking series on a Netflix or Amazon. That was TV show moment.
Oh my God, I felt the same way. Same way.
Yes, TV show. And I just think that and this is why I always say, when I had these conversations, these guys over at PlayStation, whatever they do, they're wizards at what they do. They have the ability to capture a moment. And I would love to see the talent that they have just go to some of these studios in Microsoft, because I want to see that talent level.
Well, we'll get into Booster Soft. But the thing is but you're right with this stuff. Like even the way they introduce characters and the enemy, and the different factions, I couldn't believe the detail. How when you get to the bridge part and you see all the different tribes and stuff and see the difference in the details, everybody has a personality. Every single person. It's not just the commander and he has a bunch of clones that are like his like kind of his sidekicks.
Oh no, they're there for a reason.
Every person, every person has extreme detail. Yeah, they're there for a reason. Every person has such extreme detail. It's incredible of how much effort that they put in all the NPCs, the side characters, people that you just meet, the animals, the environment. And the other thing that I want to talk about is just, the way they introduce and get you pulled into the story to know, like, hey, you're going to start in the Forbidden West. Like, here's a whole new slew of people that you don't know about. And it immediately kind of triggers you going like, yo, this is a different fight that we got going on here. And look at this. Look at the video. Look at the trees. Where's those Halo pipe cleaners? Look at this. Look at this environment.
Thing, and I know you found this out, Jazz, and you definitely did, Link. When I'm hot, the first time I started hiding in brush and I was trying to kill like one of these machines, and I could feel every time I walked through, I could feel it in the DualSense, each and every freaking little branch. I'm like, yo, I can feel. You can feel it. You could tell you were crawling through brush, you were hiding, and I was like, yo, this is what this is something different. And I don't know what it is, man. I just think these guys are whatever they did. Look, let me tell you. When at the beginning, when you're doing your little intro and it comes up and says Horizon Forbidden West and you're riding off into like that whole scene was all in game, and I was sitting there like that can't. And I kept saying this is really in game, and I said, look, I know for a fact, and people may not agree with me, but I know for a fact, Kojima working with the Decima engine and creating Death Stranding had a lot to do with this game and the Decima engine being better and on a graphical and a performance level. Because you got to just imagine. If they can do the game like this open world and they can run 60, and even if it's checkerboard dynamic, just imagine what they're going to be able to do in the next, 3 to 5 years with the tech they're doing. Like this is
a crush-gen game, Frog. A crush-gen game. So you can't even say
that's
like
the other thing.
It's crazy.
It's crush-gen.
It's a crush-gen.
How do you make this one on a day one PS4 and still look this good?
And I saw the screenshots of the PS4 versions, like, and it looks like they just took this and scaled it down.
My son is on his. I've seen it on the PS4 Pro, and I can definitely tell the biggest difference between the PS4 Pro version and PS5 is because he's playing. I want to say he's playing whatever. But I don't know. I would say the resolution you can definitely tell, even in our performance mode on here for resolution.
But it's the density. I think it's the density of the land.
Yes, you don't see like there's not as much grass and there's certain things.
It's insane. Like just this shot by itself,
the
like
texture quality is there,
dude. Just look at I'm just showing everybody that shot itself. Like look at the dynamic of how many different trees and bushes, and it's just incredible. Like how much stuff is going on, and then on top of that, not only the DualSense where you feel all this stuff, because I'm telling you. Even playing without the headphones on, it's a treat because when you pull back that bow and shoot
I'm playing on my 7.1 surround sound.
You hear the actual effect come out of the speaker and go into the TV.
Yeah.
And you feel it.
All right.
Like it's the craziest thing. When you are aiming, Frog, when you're aiming the arrow down and you hear it, the sound, it's not the arrow that comes out. It's not the sound of just the arrow coming out of the
it's the sound of the bow and everything.
Yes, it's like it's a 3D sound because like when you're playing without the headphones and you're using the microphone, you're using the speaker on the controller, and it's hard to explain, but like when you shoot it, you hear the things that you would hear closer to you, and the things further away on the TV. So like when you pull it back, you'll hear and you'll hear the like on your your controller. But then when you let it go, it almost goes from the controller to the TV. So you hear it go, and you hear the flight from the speaker and then the pop on the TV.
Well, you know what it is, Jed? I think, and I'll be honest with you, I think that in all regards to PlayStation, the DualSense really, a lot of people thought it was going to be gimmicky. But as I'm starting to see more and more games, like I'm playing Destiny 2 and the Cyberpunks and all these different games, this controller kind of really stands out. It makes the game stand out a lot more. It does things where you don't really think about it, and then like say if it's a game and you start playing this game on PlayStation, you go to another system and you play that same game, you're like, yo, why does it feel different? Because the controller you're playing with in your hand is very different.
Yeah. And
so I think the controller is just as big of a part as the tech.
The sound,
I think there's a lot.
The sound, that 3D audio, the sound, even the speaker, the the vibrations, the dual sense with the adaptive triggers, even pulling on with that hook shot thing where you hook it and you can pull things or pull a door open, like the tension that you feel in that. All this stuff is just little, it's all little quirks that make you just have a smirk going like, huh,
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Like, and it's one of those things where it's nothing where it's like, like it's just enough to just immerse you and make you feel different things in the game, and it works.
You know what to me makes me feel good about this game, and on the gaming side, just the game side, not just the console that it's on. I've seen people who are primarily play on Xbox, some good people who primarily play on Xbox, on PC, and I see them just enjoying the game. And they're like, "Yo, this is what I want for my
That's what
my
we're getting into,
Xbox."
Frog. You got into it.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, those are the people you're looking at. You're like, "Yo, you are guys that really are the true ones because you deserve to have the. You have a powerful system that should be put to use. You should be getting this quality and this level of games. I don't know if you're going to get it with the Game Pass model, but this is what I would love to see because I would love to be able to just jump in, have my Xbox, and then jump into a game like this and just be able to give the developer so much praise for something they did that make me feel I'm totally immersed in that world. And I haven't really found that in quite a while on the other side.
No.
It kind of feels sad.
Yeah, and that's and we'll get into that because we have that topic here. But I'm gonna definitely play more of it. I'm gonna do probably another show and just like talk more about the game as I get more into it. About 5 hours in, but oh my god, the game is absolutely incredible. And
yes,
again, it triggered a lot of people. But first, before I get to that last thing I wanted to talk about is that I saw that last night, that Street Fighter 6 reveal, and people are speculating that it might be a PlayStation exclusive like Street Fighter 5.
Hey,
dude.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I wouldn't say it's not going to be multi-plat, but people have to look at a lot of different things moving. The parts are moving with Sony, with Evo, with PlayStation. I wouldn't be surprised if it's only on PlayStation, and people will probably get mad and say it shouldn't only be on PlayStation. But you kind of gotta. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never thought the fighting games were Xbox games. I've always looked at my Xbox as kind of like, this is where I play. Kind of like if I'm gonna play good shooters, I'm playing them here. If I, want to play good like certain kind of games. Racing is not. I mean, racing games can be on either system, but I don't think fighting has ever been something I've ever wanted to like look at a PlayStation, with the exception of maybe like Dead or Alive, right? I could say, the fighting scene's kind of really been with PlayStation, and even with the Street Fighter before, people say it was a failure and it was this and that. I'm like, well, I don't know. It didn't seem to be a failure, I guess. I don't know whose eyes you look at as failures. I don't care if the game's multiplayer. I think it should be multiplayer, right? Yeah. But here's the other thing: let's just say it's only on PlayStation. Let's say 4 and 5. Will that impact its sales? Will it hurt it? I think if it's a good game, it's stand the test of time. Hopefully, it is a multiplayer.
You're
game
right with the Evo thing. Like they got the Evo thing. They already did it with what's incredible though, Street Fighter 5. What's incredible is that they kept it. They never even ported it over to to Xbox at all.
No, because where the scene was, and you gotta look at the console it's on. They kind of projected and said this game is going to do well here because of the players that hit. Look, there's a huge Japanese audience where Xbox isn't real big in Japan. Huge Japanese audience for this game. It kind of fit PlayStation. Why put it on the Xbox if you couldn't really convince people to go out there and buy this game and compete? And that's, I think, a big problem. I think you're going to, if this game, and here's what I'm going to say this. If this game is really like, let's just say it's only on PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
I would seem to think that they see the market and where the market is. If it's on every place, great for it. But if it's only on PlayStation, maybe they see the market is really mostly there. And I don't know.
Look at this though. Look at this. Look at the sales disparity between Capcom games on a PlayStation platform versus the Xbox platform.
Sure.
And then also Sony funded the Street Fighter 5. People don't talk about that. They funded it because Capcom, like I said earlier, was in some financial crisis a little bit.
Hold on, time out. Sorry, one thing. Hey, what's up, Kid Smooth? Dude, how can you say I'm telling you, Xbox has never been a fight. It's never been serious for fighters. You got to look where the fighters always been. They've always been on PlayStation ecosystem. from the first PlayStation all the way up to now, fighters have been more serious on the PlayStation. You know,
I think
we're
one of the things is that was the D-pad. I know that the D-pad was definitely
yeah,
better
yeah,
on the PlayStation.
and that's the
It was the
big thing.
D-pad positioning of the Xbox that made it harder. Not that they didn't get fighters on them. I thought Killer Instinct.
Yeah, they got fighters. But,
I thought Killer
I
Instinct
don't
was
think
done
that
really well on
Xbox has
Xbox.
I don't think Xbox has been that fighter box that people go to Xbox for fighting games outside of Dead or Alive. Like I said,
Dead or Alive. They had they had the Dead or Alive.
That's the only big one I can think of.
And
like
Tao
really
Fang. Remember Tao Fang? Oh my god, I remember that. That was back in the OG Xbox.
I want this game to come everywhere. I want it to be cross play. I want it to be everything because I want to, those guys that went on the Xbox, I think they should get it. They should be able to play cross play or however they're going to do it. I really want this game to be everywhere. But I think if it comes to PlayStation, you have to look and say there's a reason for it to come there, and I just hope, here's the thing I hope it doesn't do. I hope, it's like, hey, it's on PlayStation, it's on whatever, PS5, PS4, and then it comes to Xbox and it doesn't do well, and now they got to throw it in the damn Game Pass. Because if that's the kind of thing we're doing, no, I'm being serious. If that's the kind of thing we're doing, like it came to Xbox and it's not doing well, so it'll eventually go to Game Pass, it sets a bad precedence, not just for people not supporting the games in that system. It just says that at some point developers will say, I'm not putting my game here because unless it's in Game Pass, you guys don't want it. So I just put it where I know it's going to sell. And that's what's going to happen.
So, I said this on Twitter. I replied to somebody on Twitter. I was like, there's speculation about whether this game is going to come to the Xbox platform. If it's announced for Xbox, the next thing they're going to demand is that it goes in Game Pass.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, it's not going to Game Pass.
It's not going to Game Pass.
It's not going to go to Game Pass. Unless Phil wants Phil does a deal of the century, but yeah,
I don't know.
I
don't know if this game. It depends on how. I don't know if the game.
It depends on what they do with it. Like, is it going to be a service game? I didn't like how they structured 5 at all. Like, 5 was annoying.
Ooh, man, somebody brought up a good point.
I think there's a reason they didn't announce. But listen, let me say just one thing. There's a reason they didn't. Whenever a game is announced, they almost always announce which platforms this game is coming to.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, they didn't do that. That is strategic for a reason.
Yeah, State of Play.
This game is going to be announced as a PlayStation and PC only.
Yeah,
like they did with the other one.
Yeah,
I think
yes. But the one thing about games, like there have been exclusive fighting games. Like Dead or Alive was on Xbox. That was never on PlayStation.
Oh man, I love Dead or Alive.
There was Killer Instinct. Obviously, that was Xbox One. Xbox
amazing game.
What is it then? King of Fighters just now that they just did this one, but the previous
it's
ones
multiplat.
weren't. Yeah, the previous one wasn't. Yeah. All the pretty much the SNK games, like I think which one? Like what is it? The Blaze Blue, I think, came out on Xbox. Blaze Blue. Yeah, those ones. Oh, the first before the other game didn't come out. See, this might be another situation because if you look at the other game, what was it? That J All Stars, and then they did the sequel, which was horrible. Like, yeah, the sequel came out on multi-platform, but the first one, J All Stars, wasn't. So, like, there's been exclusive fighting games, and most likely the Japanese games. Like, Street Fighter was the biggest that they got back in the PlayStation day. But, it's interesting that they didn't do it. It would be another move. Like, Phil still owes everybody for PlayStation, for Street Fighter 5, and then they'll say, I owe you give me another IOU for Street Fighter 6. Like,
he said he was going to make it up to them.
He said he was going to make up. Well, I told you they're on borrowed time, dude. I said it. That's the thing.
Phil Spencer at this point, and maybe if you see, because you got to recognize the Evo community. Because somebody brought up a good point. So let's just say it comes multi-plat. What controller are we playing with at Evo? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or are we going to play? The majority of people are playing on PlayStation. Or is that the controller?
Well, they had an issue with that with Call of Duty. Now they're like, if Call of Duty goes, like, what are they going to do? Is Xbox going to be the primary box for Call of Duty?
Right. And so I think that what you're looking at is, I would like it to be, like I said, I would like it to be everywhere if it's a good game, right? And I think the last Street Fighter game could have been everywhere, but I think that there wasn't a big enough audience. There wasn't a big enough audience on Microsoft's platform for them to be like, yeah, we got to put this here also.
Dude. Whatever Sony did, they kept it off.
Sony was like, hey, it's here, and they kept supporting. And I honestly think I bought Street Fighter when it first came in. I thought it was very mediocre in a lot of ways. It just didn't have the prowess. I'm not going to say it was a great game at launch. It wasn't. It just got good, in the last couple of years where they kind of listen to people. And so maybe the next Street Fighter, I'm hoping that if it is a PlayStation exclusive, I'm sorry, I'm hoping that if it isn't a PlayStation exclusive, that the community on everywhere supports it, that it comes to PC and Xbox. I hope that they just don't want it just so they can say PlayStation, because I get tired of hearing this. Oh, we just want to have it just so you guys can't say, because it's not even about whether it's on PlayStation or not. And itself, if it's everywhere, support it, buy it. Don't wait for it to come to Game Pass. And if people are, hey, it needs to be in Game Pass, or we're not supporting it. That's why it's not going to come to your console of choice, because every developer doesn't want to put shit in Game Pass to die. So you got to support the games that are going to make the community better. If every fucking thing goes to Game Pass, that's not a good move. Every game doesn't need to go to a Game Pass.
And that's the thing. Like, you're right. If Street Fighter gets announced for Xbox, the next question is it going to Game Pass? Well, I'm not buying it unless it comes to Game Pass, because they kept off Street Fighter 5 or something like that.
Exactly. That's what you're going to hear.
How does a publisher justify putting their game in Game Pass to add value to the game? It really
doesn't add value.
Unless it's a service game. Unless Street Fighter is going to be like, here's 5 characters and we're going to add them over time and it lives in Game Pass. I don't know, dude.
I will say this. I will say this. This is kind of funny. I've said this before. I kind of watch games. Look, check this out. I kind of watch games as they come out, and I noticed that if a game is not too well received, doesn't sell too well, doesn't score too well, it usually will end up in Game Pass some way, shape, or form. And then it kind of gives you a kind of impression. Like if a game comes out and it's like, well, even though it didn't sell too well, or didn't get reviewed too well, I'm like, yeah, that may go to Game Pass. And then eventually a couple of months later it does. And I'm like, shit, that's not a good look, because then developers will start saying, well, maybe Microsoft's still looking and say, if this game looks mediocre, hey, we can go to them and proposition with money to go to Game Pass. That's not what you want.
Yeah.
You want them to do better. You want them to take their time. That's why games like Cyberpunk, when you look at Cyberpunk, the Cyberpunk we got now should have been the Cyberpunk we got at launch.
Sure. Yeah.
And the game we have now, in no way, shape, or form, is a Game Pass, the one we have now. The one we had back, even when it came out, that game shouldn't have been released. It should have been delayed. It should have never came out like that. But you don't, and it goes back to the saying, like, I want Street Fighter to go everywhere for the community of people who like the fighting game, right? But I don't want to just go everywhere just to say it's a multi-plat and it's not on PlayStation exclusive. That's a dumb reason.
It's not going to sell very much on Xbox.
It's not going to.
It's not going to.
What is Street
We already
Fighter,
know
though?
it's not going to. The fighting community, the fighting community isn't really been ever on Xbox. PlayStation, the fighting community is primarily been on PlayStation. You got to look at the fighting games and the history of fighting games. Tekken, the PlayStation's been the fighting box. When you talk about the fighting game community outside of Smash Brothers, PlayStation has been the console that people go to for fighting games. Let's be honest. I mean,
it is. Look, yo, Frog Game Night says, he goes the 10. He goes, just look at the recently announced Soul Hackers 2, an Atlas game, and Xbox guys are hoping it'll come to Game Pass, and they wonder why Japanese developers don't really support Xbox. And I've talked about it a bunch of times. Like this press,
you're my number one customer.
Definitely clouds the incentive to possibly put games on Xbox, because that is going to be the narrative for every game that goes to Xbox. Is going to be like, hey, is it coming to Game Pass? And then somebody will be like, no. It's like, well, I'll just wait for it to come to Game Pass. Even Paris Lilly, the future of Game Pass proponent himself, said that he told his friend to play Death's Door when he was playing it. And he goes, dude, I'm not playing it. He goes, it's a great game. Yeah. You should play it. It's not even a $60 game. And he said his friend was like, I'm just going to wait for it to come to Game Pass. And he's like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I'm like, no, it's a bad thing.
That's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing
because I wanted to play Death's Door, and I was like, yo, man.
Just buy the game,
I think this game is a multi-plat, right?
It's not good.
I said it was a multi-plat, right? And I was going to buy it on the Xbox, and then when I read the developers, what they were saying, it was like, oh, it's a timed exclusive. I was like, oh, timed exclusive is coming to PlayStation. And I got it on PlayStation when it came out. I purchased it. But there were a lot of people who had an Xbox who knew it was a good game, but they would not buy it because they were like, I'm just going to wait for the game.
Frog, on top of that, on top of that, Death's Door wasn't in Game Pass at the time. He was telling his friend to buy it. His friend said, no, I'm not buying it. I'm waiting for it to come to Game Pass. Lo and behold, 2 months later, it shows up in Game Pass. So now tell me, like, the next games, like, when do you
Yeah.
you have this fear? Like, I just bought
And
this
like I
game,
said, I
dude.
know Kiss Move said games don't go on Game Pass as a Metacritic. That's all. No, that's what I'm saying, Smooth. I do think some of them will go in there because they don't score it so well, but I do think some of them go in there because they're just not selling well. Microsoft said, "Well, this didn't sell well. We can throw some money to this publisher developer, and they'll throw it in Game Pass for us, for whatever cool couple mil we're going to give them." So I think there is the score factor does play a part in there. But I also think the sales factor is a big part of whether a game will come in Game Pass. And on Microsoft's side, on the Xbox side, you guys just aren't supporting and buying a lot of these games. And so some of these games will go to Game Pass because they don't sell. When you got a game that sells 80% on PlayStation and maybe like 10% on Xbox, and 10%, it's a multi-plat, that game may end up coming to Game Pass because they're like, yeah, it's just not doing well here because people don't want to buy this game here because they're waiting to see if it's going to come to Game Pass. So Microsoft will throw it and a little couple mil and throw it in Game Pass, and you guys will try it out and bitch and whine about it and won't even freaking complete the game. And that's I think that's a bad tempo to have. A gaming service to throw games in there, that you're probably some of you guys won't play. And I'm not directly saying you, Smooth, right? Because I know there are games you do play and there are games you buy. But what I'm saying is I don't think every game needs to be in the streaming service.
Listen, this was a problem. This is a problem with Game Pass. It is affecting the whole. It's affecting sales on that platform with third-party games.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, the Xbox version of the game is not going to usually sell as much as the PlayStation because of the install base, but it's not even comparable to what we kind of estimate the install base. The sales are not good, and so third-party devs. The third-party devs are looking at it like you got games that may launch and they're like the sales aren't very good, so then they have to put it in Game Pass. But are they making their money? Are they making their money?
I just read something Kid Smooth. He said, so you would rather a game flop than to go on Game Pass? No, Kid Smooth. I would rather the developer take their time and make good games so they don't have to put them in Game Pass. So when you buy a game, you can say this is worth the money. You guys aren't even buying the games that are good. You're just waiting for everything to go on Game Pass.
Well,
a lot of you guys.
Let's talk about games that nobody's playing anymore, Frog. Let's talk about Halo Infinite. Our good friend. Halo's back.
Shit.
They just got their mid-season update here, and talk about games nobody's buying. Let's talk about games nobody's playing anymore because this game is the saddest goddamn piece of Halo shit that I've ever seen. So they've done their mid-year Halo update. No new content. No new maps, no new weapons, day one guns still there. Instead, they're still trying to get their shit together and fixing stuff. Anti-cheat improvements, big team battle motion tracker, stability improvements. I'm watching a lot of stuff from the Halo community, dude.
I really would love Smooth to come in here and really tell me that Halo was ready for prime time.
It's not ready for prime time, dude. It's not. It's in beta because they have not released a road. They delayed the message of the roadmap. They've delayed the messaging of what's coming. They're not adding new content to the game to bring anybody back. The events are not bringing anybody back. And I follow all the stuff on their friggin' Halo Waypoint to see, hey, what's the next big thing? Can I jump back in? And they're just like, oh, well, we're doing stability improvements and we're fixing the janky first-person camera. And like, what? Like,
look at this thing.
Where's the content?
Them seasons went from 3 months to 6 months.
They delayed it.
What's going on?
This is a bad look for a franchise.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Halo attached for it. And it's sad because this is not something I would think in the time that I played from the first Halo to now. From the day one Xbox Halo, there's a lot of things that this game doesn't even have. And I just don't understand how you take a franchise and you don't have these. And that's why I say this Halo game probably shouldn't have came out when it came out. Cyberpunk shouldn't have came out a lot of games that we're playing now, you're looking at them, the ones that got PS5 or Xbox Series, damn, I hate the fucking name of that console.
Raw.
The Xbox One enhanced version. That's what I'm gonna start calling it because that's what it feels like. But all jokes aside, the series consoles and the PS5. There's a lot of the games like the Cyberpunks, and I just think they should have waited on. Halo should have not came out when it did, but I think they needed that game to have something to have a conversation piece. And I really wish they would have just said, you know what, we'll just make sure it comes out this summer, and it'll have the things it needs. Because you start looking at games like for instance, you look at a game like Starfield. I don't know what it is. Why am I
Well,
interested
that's
in
the
it?
next
Because
thing that I will get into about what other stuff. But
yeah,
the thing I wanted to focus on Halo is that this game was marketed as a service game, and the service has yet to be seen. The service is them just patching and fixing and
it's a service within a service.
It's sad as can be, because the thing is that they just keep asking for more and more time. And I follow some of these guys in the Halo community because I want to hear what they're saying, and they are just fit to be tied. Like this guy Sean W, I listen to him, and he's been doing videos going like the community is just turning on them, because
they're done.
It's like their mid-year update, their mid-season update is just kind of just stuff that should have been like a day one patch. Mm-hmm. They have no roadmap for content, and I'm not even talking about Forge and co-op campaign. I'm talking about just new maps, new weapons, new vehicles, new things, anything to get people back into this game. Where is the roadmap of content?
You know what I love?
It's
horrible. You said something right now that I love. The Halo community, not the Xbox, the Halo community. Because yes, it's an Xbox game, but it's the Halo community is bigger than a lot of things. It's like saying the Mario community. This is the Halo community. When they're speaking, these guys got to listen, because they'll lose that community. And yeah, it can be on Xbox all at once, but this is a game that is on a level that when I remember getting Halo 2 and a Halo day one Xbox, and I remember Halo is a big deal. It's in that same category as the Marios and the Zeldas we talked about. To me, it's even bigger than an Uncharted. Uncharted is big to me. It's a huge deal. So when you have people that love a game in the community and they're talking about this and they're giving up on the game, there's a problem, because they're not just people who are like, oh, I'm an Xbox guy. They're like, yo, I'm a Halo fan. This is what
on
game
top of that,
about.
Frog, like a lot of the things that people were complaining about with the lag is that they were saying about the lag, they did a whole dissertation on how the animations and things work on the Halo Infinite website, on their friggin' their forums. And basically the stuff that they're talking about is that the lag and the when you melee somebody and it looks like you go through them or they go over you and stuff like that, basically that is inherent in the game. That's not net code. That is like, oops. And basically they said that those things happened during the competition that went on. And 343 is just apologetic, and we need more time. We hear you. We're fixing this. That they are being so reactive to the missteps of the game rather than being forthcoming and forthright in the new experiences, the new content. And that's the problem that I have with this. It's billed as a service game, but you use it as a crutch, as an excuse to just basically go, it's not ready. And they're reacting, and good on them for reacting. But the thing is like, how much can you just react to everybody's the problems that you have with the game without offering sneak peeks and new content? Like, are you seriously going to wait to E3 or to June to talk about something new coming to the game? You shipped to 3 maps. 3 freaking maps.
Smooth said in the chat, he said, he doesn't understand why games can't be a subscription, but movies can, because you interact with games. You don't interact with movies in a physical basis.
All right, I'm going to tell you, if you want to make the analogy between movies being like the game Halo, how about if you watch the first 20 minutes of the movie and then the rest of it is like comes at you a later time and you say, you know what, I'm going on the forums, I don't like this first 15 minutes of this movie. So they go, we hear you, we're going to fix the next 20 minutes of the movie, stay tuned. Like, that's basically what they're giving you. They're not giving you a full movie, dude. They're giving you a goddamn half-ass movie and telling you to fix it.
That's why I said movies and gaming is totally different. They're 2 different things.
They're not giving you no 2-hour movie.
Even when people try to compare like Game Pass and Netflix, you really can't do that. So it's totally you're talking about an interactive.
You're just making excuses for bullshit. That's the thing. Oh, well, let's do music subscriptions. How about if I get music, I get the first 15 seconds of the song, and then the rest of it comes next month? How is that? That's how I want to consume my music.
People are upset.
Go ahead. Right here. I want to say this. I've said this, I don't know how many times. when you're not depending on the product to sell for it to be a success, you don't give a shit how it turns out.
Exactly.
They're not trying to sell it to you. They want you to
They
sign
got
up
your
for this
money
damn
already.
service.
They're not trying to sell it to you. It's
They
an
want you to
excuse.
sign up for
Halo's a
this service.
fucking Frankenstein.
The quality of the game don't mean anything. When you get a game like you look at a game like Horizon.
Tell me when
Sony,
that comes to Game Pass. Then I'll talk to somebody.
In their first party games, and they want to sell this game as well. They want to sell a lot of copies of this game. They're trying to put out a high quality product. With 343 and Microsoft, they didn't give a shit. I mean, you can tell. There's no way you take your marquee franchise that put your console on the map and was key to the success of this console, and you put it out like this. There's no way. There's no way you do that if you're trying to sell this product. The thing is, it's in a service. They just want you to continue to stay subscribed to it. They're going to piecemeal basic features that came with other versions of Halo. Day one to you over these seasons or whatever. Give me a fucking break.
Oh my god,
this is bullshit.
Even the campaign has seasons. Like the campaign has seasons too. It's like, oh shit. A $60 product that has seasons to it. Do they have that on the box when you pay $60 for Halo? Because it is a retail product in addition to being in Game Pass.
No,
do they have it on the box going, you're like, the shit will come later, like on the front of the box. Like Forge and this will come later. Co-op's coming later. It's a service game on the front of the Halo box. No, it says Halo Infinite. It makes you think that you have a full product in your hand. And the reason why I bring this up, because I'm not saying Horizon specifically, but a game with the breadth, visuals, and content of Horizon being available in Game Pass on day one, that's what you guys need to see. That's what Fable needs to be. That's what Perfect Dark needs to be. So when Perfect Dark comes out as a fucking episodic piece of shit, or Fable comes out as worlds that are coming later on, you need to call that shit out, because that's not what you want. You want a game with the breadth and discovery of a Horizon full-featured game day one in Game Pass. That's what you need. That's what these studios need to make. So we better see this shit. Because if that shit doesn't come to Game Pass, I don't know what the hell the excuse of Game Pass is. Like, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus bullshit piecemeal games.
Well, it's just
and the problem with Horizon 5 is that it didn't make them want to innovate Horizon 5. Where was the new vehicles, the new motorcycles, new environments, maybe having 2 worlds to go to? Where's the ambition with Forza Horizon? It was the same thing. That's why that dropped off even faster than the previous Forza Horizons, because they didn't have to sell it to you, because they already got your money. So with Horizon, the quality and content is there. But the thing is, the ambition of a sequel is not there. Look what Horizon 2 does to Horizon 1. It's not just the same thing in a different environment. Horizon 2 takes everything and ups it. That's what Forza 5 should have did. It should have taken what you known from Forza 4 and blown it up. Give me motorcycles. Give me other type missions. Put cops in the game. Give me different worlds that I could fly to. Maybe I could fly to Mexico and I could fly to Canada. The biggest world yet. Do that stuff. Make it bigger and better. That's what I mean. Don't give me just like, hey, now you're in Mexico now. See ya.
I think that's the scary thing when you have a service like, because I always, people say Game Pass is good for the gamer. Maybe it's good for the Xbox gamer, but I think in totality, it's not good for the industry in a lot of ways. Because I think if you are waiting for a game to come to a service, whether that good is the game, you think the game is good or not. If you think the game is good and it's thoroughly a good game, why not just go buy the game? Well, Microsoft doesn't even want you to buy the game, and I just don't understand where we're going with the industry, where it's like you got to be in the service, you gotta be subscribed to this service. We're gonna throw games in there, but you're throwing games in a half-ass, and I think that's the problem. A lot of games are being thrown into the service a half-ass. If you actually had to sell these to people, would you really be able to sell the same product to the person without that service? And in a lot of ways, people would not come back to play that game, or people would drop that game completely. And I think that's why Halo's having a problem. It's kind of proving a point. Like, you're one of your biggest, like you said, marquee franchises. People are like, screw it, I'm done. I don't want this anymore. And that's a problem.
Is that Phil brought up?
It's not about. It's more about you taking a franchise that the platform you love that you play on and you taking a franchise and you don't care
Frog, nobody's
how
playing
bad
it
that
now.
franchise.
They're just capping for it now. Nobody's playing this shit.
People that they're just so happy.
They got it in
They're
Game
like,
Pass. Can't vote with their wallet.
That's the problem. They're so happy. It's like, look what we got. We got Halo.
Forza was the most played game everywhere. It was on every fucking platform. Was it the most played because Microsoft marketed it the best way and made it better than the previous one? No, it was because it was on every PC, every cell phone, every Xbox, and he even says it. He goes to Halo and Forza were the most played games in the franchise because they were everywhere. He says it.
Because they were everywhere.
It should be they're the most played because they're better than anything they have ever released.
My whole thing, Jazz,
you understand?
Better than the previous one.
That's exactly.
They're up the ante.
Horizon's going to be better than the first one because it's better than the first one. Not because it's on 20 million devices. It's because Horizon 2 is a better game than the first game. That's why you want a game to sell.
When you play Last of Us, it should be better. Last of Us should be better than Last.
It should be better than
every time you get the next iteration of a game, it should be better.
It should be better.
But the fact that
Halo Infinite better than Halo 5? Please tell me. Halo Infinite is better than Halo 5? Content complete?
It's definitely not.
Oh, but let's celebrate that Halo Infinite had more players on it than Halo 5. Okay, that's a celebration. Way to go. Let's get out the creams. Get the hell out of here. The reason why it was the most played, not because it was better, is because it was everywhere. It was out like fucking McDonald's. That's why more people tasted the sample of the trash-ass hamburger. That's why it's more people played.
People are championing it.
Meanwhile, the game's broken as fuck with 3 maps. Get the hell out of here.
There you go. There you go. People are champion on
the
numbers of users instead of, hey, this game is better than... Yeah, you can't do that.
Oh, but no,
you start
can't
doing things like that.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Wait, we got to champion that Halo was the most played, like the most people ever played. There's 15,000 people on it right now. But we can't share these numbers though because it's just Steam. Oh well, if it's so popular, where the fuck is Phil and Booty's ass telling us how well it's doing? No, we can't share numbers. You want to talk about most people played? Let's see. Let's see how that thing. It was like a fucking ski slope right here. Where were they? 272. They're at. Look at this. They're 15,000. You want to talk about how many people are playing fucking Halo? Most played. Hey, most played ever.
You want to hear something?
Right, that's just
crazy?
The fucking ski slope.
I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy. But the guy like me who actually purchased Halo with his money because I thought it's a Halo franchise. There's no way they can get it wrong. These guys that are playing on Xbox or in Game Pass, like you're the dumbass for not Game Passing this. That's what they'll tell me. So I'm the dumbass for actually supporting a franchise I like that was kind of like bare bones in a lot of ways. So I've been told this.
Explain this to me, CJ. Explain this trash. Explain this to me.
That's not good.
What happened, CJ? Did I make these numbers up? Did I fucking type this in? Explain to me. If we're celebrating how many people played Halo, what the fuck happened, dude? Tell me.
What happened?
Please,
Where's
tell
the content?
me.
Where's
they're all on Xbox? CJ, you know those numbers? Did Phil fucking send them to you? You know those fucking numbers? You know them? Because this is all we got. Your boy remember Xbox is so transparent. Phil is transparent, kissing babies, hugging grandmas. He don't tell you fucking numbers, dude. This is all we got. So tell me what the fuck happened. Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, people on the net say Halo 5 is better. Yeah. The people on, okay. So you could tell me that Halo Infinite, with all of its content, is better than what Halo 5 shipped with. Get the fuck out of here. Hit the dislike and get the fuck out of here. Explain these numbers. Yeah. Smooth was celebrating 272 people. Smooth. What the fuck happened? 15,000. What happened? Where are the other millions? Are they all sitting on Xbox? Let's go see. Let's go. You want me to go look up my Xbox friends list? You want me to see what everybody's playing right now? Let's go see. Let's go see what are they all playing Halo? The millions are over there. They're fucking not playing Halo. You want to know why? Because they're not delivering the content. I'm not blaming you, fans, for not playing it. I'm blaming them for not giving you the content that you deserve. Open your fucking eyes. All right?
Yeah, and when it's something like this, you have to speak up. But it seems like the people who speak up because they love the franchise, they get shitted on because you guys now they're saying
toxic. Toxic my ass. Fuck out of here. They're the numbers right here. Go to your Xbox podcast. Ask them where their fucking numbers are. Let's talk facts. You want to talk fucking facts? Let's talk about. Tell me where Fable is. Have you seen it? Or are you so excited? Where's Fable? What's Perfect Dark looking like? What about Avowed? Where's those games?
We can do one better.
I
than
even
what
saw
about
Dustin
Starfield? That
Laguerre,
comes out
Capper
this year.
himself, complaining about where are the Xbox games. Let's hear what Dustin has to say. If you don't want to hear from
Starfield
me,
comes out this year. Where's that at?
Wait, what? Redfall? What? Did you say Redfall or something else?
Oh shit, I forgot all about Redfall.
Shit, me
I don't
too.
know,
What
man.
about Contraband? How's that doing, Frog? Tell me about Contraband.
There are a lot of I thought about this yesterday. Microsoft has the company itself. They've acquired a lot of purchases, but I can't really see anything that they've acquired really push out. Like I haven't seen I haven't seen the games coming out. I've seen a lot of purchases, but I haven't really seen the games. And I know it takes time to make games, but I think that as these games start to come out, if they're not hitting for what they purchased them for, it's kind of like, did you just purchase stuff just to have filler, just to put in the service?
Frog,
and if you did, is this what we really want?
The biggest get they got is MLB The Show.
Oh shit! Look at that rat.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about rats? I would love to just go back to the last 2 years and hear about the 12 teraflops and Sony's afraid and all this bullshit about the power of this console. You know what? They did it. They really did it. We heard you. This is the we heard you console. Here's a 12 teraflop fucking rat. Oh, and here's the incapable Sony rat. You want to compare fucking rats, dude? Here you go. Here's your Halo rat.
A rat. It's a rat.
It's a fucking rat, dude. But tell me.
Don't start comparing chickens because we know what they look like in Halo.
Oh shit! Here we go. We got the chickens. Look at the rats.
Oh shit,
dude. They got hairless fucking rats over there in Halo. What happened to the hair? They gotta get Tony. Tony spent all his time putting fucking the hair on Craig. He needed to put the hair on the rats.
What makes it funny but not funny is like it's got to a point where it's not even about console war anymore. It's not even about fan war. It's a fucking joke. What should be about is making this shit better. This is unacceptable. This is completely unacceptable.
There's your slip space rat.
If you're primarily playing on your Xbox and you're completely content with what you're getting from the first party guys, I don't know what you really are looking for in the future for it. So I just don't see what your future is going to be. You have to say something. You have to be able to say, look, we deserve better than this. Especially for, like I said, especially for a franchise as big as Halo. It's not acceptable. It shouldn't be acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
Say something. If you're not saying anything, you're part of the problem. If you think that it's okay because this is where I play, I love my Xbox, and Xbox does nothing wrong, you're part of the problem. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I play on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. If there's something wrong with the shit I'm playing, I'm going to say it. Like I found some good
if I bought Horizon and the rat looked like this fucking rat and not like this, like, come on.
Man, bro. We have a problem. There'd be a whole conversation because you should expect more. You should expect more from that name, Halo. I mean, from Halo 1 to 2, we expected more. Halo 2, 3, it is kind of went down. It's a lot of... Yo, this is bad. Damn, that fucking rat. Fucking rat. God dang.
Oh, my God. Oh, and then I didn't even talk about the power of the goddamn, the whole, oh my God.
Hey, Smooth. Dude. I would definitely tell people you should not want or you should not accept, you should not like that your marquee franchise is so bare bones. That shouldn't be acceptable.
It's disgusting that they did that to Halo, man. I'm so fucking pissed that they did that to it. And this, like, the Halo show looks damn good. The Halo show looks damn. Hopefully that's some quality. They renewed it for season 2.
Hey, Smooth. Hold on. Wait. Smooth. What I'm saying to you is, if you like it, then you like it and you love it. You will accept anything. This is mediocre, and you should not accept. You should want better. You're playing on the most powerful console that's ever existed, and the fact is, you deserve better. You should want better, especially when you have a franchise like Halo. You guys that are playing Halo that I can't play on my PlayStation, thank God on the Xbox, you should want better. You should be able to say, look, we got this great experience over here that I wish that you guys could play Horizon on the Xbox. Why? Why? Because at the end of the day, it's a great fucking game. Not because it's on PlayStation, because it's a great fucking game. That's why you should want better. Just fuck being on PlayStation, fuck being on Xbox. If the game is good, yeah, I know that Sony owns this company and that company, but I want people to play good fucking games. And when you're on Xbox and you're just saying, hey, you got to be on Xbox, you got to be in Game Pass, day one, you're not getting good experiences. And if you're sitting there saying you're getting good experience, you're lying to yourself. And I don't know what kind of mental disorder you have. You have to have a mental disorder to believe that the stuff you're getting in Game Pass, especially the first party stuff, is great quality stuff. It's not. It's not. This is not fanboy shit.
No,
There's no way you can sit here.
I'm just laughing at
There's
CJ.
no way you can sit here
He
and
was a
tell
comedian
me-
tonight.
There's no way you can sit here and tell me in the last year the stuff that is coming on Xbox has been in Game Pass or even exclusive. It's really just it's really.
I'm gonna tell you what.
It's moved the needle.
I'm gonna tell something to
as far
CJ
as
here,
what the
Frog.
industry- No, it's
Before
wrong.
It's
wrong.
Well, wait. You want to use CJ here says people will. He's taking a line out of Colt Eastwood because Colt Eastwood was playing hours of Crackdown 3. And one and done
God.
thing. So he says, wait a second. People will be playing for Halo for years while Horizon will be done and gone. Let me tell you something, CJ. We'll probably be playing Horizon 3 by the time you get your fucking max coming out for fucking Halo. That's all I'm saying,
That's
dude.
bad. That's bad.
We'll get
so
Horizon 3.
So listen, so if you did, I mean, there might be somebody still playing it. That might be true.
Well, there's 15,000 now. Cross your fingers for the next 10 years. They got 9 years left.
Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you something.
3 months later, this game went to 15,000.
I don't believe.
You get 9 years left.
I do not believe this game's gonna be supported for 10 years.
Get the fuck out of here.
With content.
No, don't many people are gonna leave, and think how many people are gonna leave by that. Dude, you're still waiting for it went from 272,000 people to 15,000 people. You got 9 years left. Hopefully, maybe there's 10 people playing.
My whole point is like what he brought up in the chat. Once again,
do
you're
3
talking
months.
about
cap.
So
Those are the fucking
the
numbers.
price thing. He brought the price thing between Horizon is 60 here and 70 here. The price difference. That's where you go to instead of talking about the game. Yeah, that is a problem. I will address that, and I will say that's a fucking problem. That needs to be said. That's a fucking problem.
Wait, what's the problem? Say it again.
The problem is, Sony is charging you 60 on this console and 70 on that console. That's a fucking problem. I can just buy the $60 version and upgrade it put it on my PS5 and get it's a problem. Nobody's ever said it wasn't a problem. But the fact of the matter is, there's no games on Xbox that you cannot talk about, and it's not a problem.
Frog,
that's a problem in itself.
Frog, that's topic number 7.
Really,
where are the games?
Sony rectified that issue because they promised a free upgrade. They said if you buy the PS4 version, you'll get the upgrade for free, and they honored that.
They honored that. So what's the problem?
Let's list the games. I'm asking the problem.
Because listen, man, they don't want to buy games. They don't want to buy games.
No, but
they don't want to buy
games.
They don't want to buy anything.
No. And what's going to happen is, I heard somebody say something so heinous and stupid. Somebody said, Call of Duty, if it was a multi-plat, basically Microsoft's Xbox. Everybody likes to take the word Microsoft and Xbox together.
Make it exclusive.
But no, this is what I heard somebody say. If Microsoft wanted to, they could Sega PlayStation if they wanted to with Call of Duty. You guys are fucking idiots if you think that's true. You're telling me that console that's on its 5th iteration, that almost all of their consoles are so close to 100 million. You're telling me that Microsoft is going to Sony, Sega, maybe the company that's $1 trillion, but you're talking about the Xbox gaming company? No fucking way possible. No fucking way possible. You're telling me you're going to take 100 million plus gamers and pull them over to Xbox, and they're just going to go there just for COD and Game Pass? No fucking way possible. That game will die before that happens. The one game won't do that. The one game won't do that. God. You guys are delusional, and the problem is there's a reason why. There's a reason why it's still multiplayer. It makes money, and it makes a lot of money on PlayStation. It makes the most money. I heard some cocksucking PC guy, and I gotta say it like this. Tell me that COD makes more money on PC. Dude, are you delusional?
No,
COD doesn't make
the most on PlayStation.
It makes the most money on PlayStation, but I heard a PC guy tell me it makes more money than I don't know why. For some reason, he thinks that these COD doesn't make money on PC like that. It makes the most money on PlayStation. It's a smart move. Just like when
it's associated with PlayStation.
Just like when Sony said, "Hey, we acquired Bungie. you obviously don't want to take Destiny, your big cash cow, and take this. You know what games make the most money? Not the most sales, the most money year over year. It's Fortnite number 1, Destiny's number 2. COD is the biggest selling game every year, but when you're talking about makes the most money year over year, Fortnite makes the most money right under Fortnite on consoles now. I'm not talking about cocksucking PCs. Fortnite is there, and then Destiny 2 is right under it.
All right, Frog.
As far as money makers, COD makes money.
Cool. We're gonna have to cool our tongues.
I don't understand why you would be pissed that a company that is buying something and a franchise as big as COD that makes so many billions of dollars on 100 million installed base. Why would you be pissed that, man, they're not putting my 48 million installed base console exclusively? This bullshit. Really?
Please, let them do it. I can't wait to see what the quality turned out to be. But we're going to cool our tongues and talk about the last topic. And to wrap this up, cool our tongues. And then just listen to the wise words of Jim Gordon Ramsay.
You're my number 1 customer. Enough from me. We're going to have the games do our talking.
The games are going to do their talking. Glenza with the $2. He goes, Call of Delays is exclusive to Xbox. Great. Thank you, Glenza. $2. But the thing is that the question is I did see, and this came from from our good friend Dustin Ligiri as well, where he was just like, last year he was like, Xbox has no games, la ha ha ha, laughing it off, and then just this week he basically goes, Xbox, hey, what? It looks kind of dry here. What's going on? Where's your first party? And I told you that Xbox is on borrowed time. I said, like, they do a lot of talking when Sony's quiet, but when Sony is dropping shit left and right, this is what their lineup looks like.
That's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Microsoft looks irrelevant to this stuff. And you know what's interesting is that Horizon came out, and I saw a lot of people, shout out, even Smooth did a video too about it, just basically going like, yo, where's the lineup here? What's going on with Xbox first party? All I keep hearing is they got 33 Wait, yeah, well, that's the next thing. They got
they told you, but Jez, they told you what the lineup was for 2020.
But wait a second, no, they told us in 2018 that we have to wait for next gen. Well, we're 2 years into this gen, and they're still not here. So, like, this is the thing, because I was told that, when I was complaining about this in 2018, people said, you're a fearmonger. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm in 2022 now. The same shit's not here. And basically, look at what Sony has released in the past, and now this is what their lineup is. And what's interesting is that Horizon comes out, and I sort of saw the same type of narrative that came around when Wolverine was announced. Everybody ran to Xbox going, where's our superhero game? Where's our blockbuster game? Yep. And now when Horizon came out, everybody's now looking at their Xbox going like, so for a service that for a company that bases their game on a game service, where are the games for this service? Because the big draw to Game Pass is the first party Xbox games. And those are the ones that you have no goddamn clue and it is not even that they're not there. It's the fact. Wait a second. The thing is that's not even there. You haven't even seen what these games look like and what they're going to be. Contraband, Redfall, Perfect Dark, Fable, Avowed, Outer Worlds 2 was announced, if you don't remember. Where's the gameplay and the walkthrough of Hellblade 2? Is that coming out this year? Where's that? What about, the other game, Project Mara, the step simulator? Where's that immersive virtual type thing? Where's that thing? What about the other projects that they're working on? Did Grounded ever come out of beta 2 years later?
I don't think so.
No,
it
didn't.
No, it didn't.
Crackdown, I guess, never got new maps either, so I guess that's done with
No, they abandoned that shit.
That game.
No, that shit's done. Yeah.
The problem is not only that these games have been announced. The problem is that they haven't even marketed or sold or talked about shit about these games.
But they're too busy talking about acquisitions.
Exactly.
And that's it. But you know what? Look, dude. Look at this, Jazz. Look at this, Jazz. Look at how Sony handled their acquisition of Bungie versus the Activision.
Right.
Sony announced the deal when it was done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Microsoft
That's a good point.
makes all this. Microsoft has to drive up all this hype by announcing acquisitions because they don't have any games. They know that their fan base gets
the Witch Queen.
they know that their fan base gets excited about all this acquisition talk, so they put it out there. Even though they're saying,
oh,
what did they say? This deal's not going to be done until next summer.
Next summer. That's if it doesn't.
So
get
it's
pushed
like,
back.
I don't have a problem.
And know what that'll do? That'll make you. That'll make them put old ass Activision games in Game Pass. That's what that's
Sony doesn't announce. Sony doesn't usually announce acquisitions until it's finished, because they're not using it to drive up hype. You know what I mean? So because they know that they have a product, they have a premium product, people buy their product. And over there on Microsoft, I don't know what's going on. They started making these acquisitions, and when they started making these acquisitions, 2018.
And they built.
And we haven't seen the fruits of these. Where are these games? Where are they?
We don't know what Compulsion Games is working on.
We don't know what they're doing.
We have no clue. They were bought in 2018. Hellblade.
Oh, no, wait. Compulsion put a game on Game Pass.
Oh, it sure did.
Just recently. A game that they came out in 2013.
Yeah, Contrast. Dude. And that's but the point I wanted to do is that I'm gonna let you guys know, grinders know that, I'm not here to just say Xbox has no games. Good night, everybody. No. The thing is that I'm not saying they don't have a games, because I did list a whole bunch of games. The problem I have is we haven't seen any gameplay, any knowing what these games are, or even release windows or when to anticipate them. And that was the big complaint coming from the lot of the Xbox fans after Horizon, was like, we don't have a roadmap. Where is this roadmap of, when we can anticipate stuff? And I always said, like, if you have a Game Pass subscription service, you need to have a cadence as to what games are coming, the lineup. Like I just showed you Sony's lineup. They have a year. You know what you're getting in the next 6 months, right? Microsoft, you don't know anything in the next 6 months. You don't know what's coming out. Is Redfall even going to come out from them? And that was a partnership that they had.
Let me ask a question to you guys real quick, because I do see this a lot. Do you think that, because, people will call Digital Foundry Pony Foundry, but do you think if there are games to really talk about and have a conversation about that, are good or worthy, that they have no choice really but to talk about some of these Switch or PlayStation games, because that's what they got. What do they have from the so-called competition that they can talk about? What they're going to do? Talk about Crossfire X? They're not going to fucking.
But know what else is very interesting? Know what else? Oh, I'm gonna say, know what else is very interesting is that all these rumored games, Project this and Project that. Know what's so interesting is that it just fuels their Xbox community podcast. Like, they're all rumors and leaks and from what I hear and stuff. And it's like they get on the phone with some PR person, or they get on the phone with some insider that they have, and hey, I hear that Microsoft's working on this game, the project something, or they're looking for somebody for Killer Instinct. And then they go run to their podcast and do their show. The problem I have is, where is it coming from the horse's mouth? Well, Phil loves to do his interviews. It's not like he's shutting the fuck up. He loves to talk, but he doesn't talk about the games. When he sits down and does these interviews, he talks about roasting marshmallows and the future of cloud gaming, but doesn't fucking talk about how Perfect Dark fucking looks, or get Booty out here to tell me what the fuck Fable looks like. That's the problem.
I don't have high hopes for that call.
Podcasts going like, you know what? I heard in an Xbox party chat with one of the developers that they're working on this game. I'm going to go do it on my podcast and get a bunch. Like, it's all this insider fucking hokey dokey bullshit. Where is it coming from Xbox? See, that's why Sony insiders suck balls, and I'm glad. Suck all the balls you do, dudes, because I don't need a fucking insider. I want it from the fucking pony's mouth, the horse's mouth, Sony's fucking mouth, Herman Holtz's mouth.
Well, listen, Jess. One thing Sony's going to give you games. They're going to give you. They're going to give you first party games. They're going to sign deals to get. They're going to sign deals to get exclusivity. They're going to make sure that they have a decent amount of games flowing into their ecosystem. I don't know what in the world Microsoft's doing over there,
dude. I
don't even know.
They have no clue. What's Everwild? Anybody? Everwild?
So Jazz, what's 2022 looking like for the Xbox console?
Well,
I don't know.
Stalker 2 comes out on Craig's birthday in December. That was supposed to come out.
Okay, what else?
Starfield, because they spent $7 billion on Bethesda, and maybe they'll announce Forza, the service racing game, because that I guess they'll do another Forza for the hell of it. And there you go. And Redfall.
Really? Are you serious? Are you So what confirmed dates do we have? I'm talking about confirmed dates. So far.
You have what is it? The Starfield is confirmed.
Okay.
They announced that November 4th or whatever, and then the other one is Stalker 2, which is not even a first party game. So it is.
And they said Redfall in the summer, but there's rumors of that being delayed. And if it looked like the stuff I've been seeing, if it looks like what I've been seeing, it needs to be delayed because that shit looked like ass.
Dude, I don't even know. It's gonna be a stealth drop. Look at Crossfire X. It was a fucking stealth drop middle of February. They didn't give a fuck about it.
But seriously, I might not have a reason.
Deathloop. They didn't even confirm Deathloop coming out. Somebody says Deathloop this September. Captain Crunch. They didn't even confirm it.
I don't have any interest in any of these games we're talking about. I own an Xbox, so I might go all of 2022 and not play it at all.
And
that's a damn shame.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a damn shame.
The only thing I want to see is what Starfield really is. I just
don't play them.
You don't even know what that is. Wait till you
I don't care about Bethesda game. I don't play that shit. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't like my Fallouts and my Elder Scrolls because I'll be lying if I said I do. I do love them.
And where's Scorn?
I don't play them games.
Oh my god, this dude really listed Shredders. That's that fucking downhill bike racing game. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Holy Spirit, activate! Holy Spirit, activate!
Listen,
this guy last
in a year.
This fucking guy's a piece of work. Holy shit!
And look at what Sony's giving us. We got Horizon. They're telling us we're gonna get God of War this year. We're gonna get God of War this year. I mean, you got Forspoken.
Man, there's so many big games coming out.
This guy.
It's going to be a lot of heat on
PlayStation. I honestly can tell you that this month alone is just a huge month for gaming. Not only PlayStation, just gaming, period. Because we're just getting game after game, update after update. I'm like, shit, this is great. Like, the only game, as many games I own, I'm super excited about Elden Ring. That's my game I'm super excited about. But the only thing that can really pull me away from Elden Ring at this time.
Oh, Elden Ring. Yes, hell yeah.
I'm going to tell you something right here, CJ. You just listed Shredders. First off, motherfucker, it comes out in spring 2020. It's a fucking snowboarding game. Who the fuck is snowboarding in the spring, motherfucker? Please. They missed the fucking season.
I don't get it. Yeah,
you missed the fucking season. Who wants to snowboard in the spring? Even this motherfucker's delayed. This is what you're talking about.
Even as good as Horizon is, right?
You put this on a list. This fucking thing. Is this 1080 snowboarding on the N64?
God, that game's...
It's a fucking snowboarding game listed for the spring. Motherfucker, it's a snowboarding game in the spring.
Hey, they know when to sell their games, man. I don't get it, man.
And Scorn, you want some alien cockles along with this? I don't know.
I don't know.
But dude, I don't know what the fuck. We're talking Horizon. We're talking fucking Gran Turismo. You list fucking this.
God of War, Gran Turismo. I mean, these are some heavy.
What the fuck is this?
These are some heavy. Jazz, these are some heavy hitters, man. These are some
apparently
heavy
this
hitters.
game is too. They got some snowboard in the fucking. They got the Halo trees.
When's the day for God of War?
Pause.
Really?
Pause. They got fucking Halo trees in this. Shredders had the Halo trees.
So this man said, "When's the day for God of War?" See, this is why I can't take a lot of.
Oh my God.
When's the date for Shredders? This fucking banger. When it says spring 2022.
God of War
I need a date.
will be out this year. God of War will be out this year.
I want to snowboard in fucking April with the Easter Bunny.
That's the game right there. You have to be worried about that may take game of the year outside of maybe Elden Ring or Horizon. Because this year, man, there's some freaking amazing looking and probably just amazing game. But like I said, I want Starfield to be good. I don't want it. But my fear is because it's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah,
we're gonna get a broken mess. That's my fear. Everything, and I'm gonna tell you like this, and I want to see somebody. Maybe let's see if somebody can prove me wrong.
From the
and I won't say this is totally, but
Phone Punch.
The majority of the games that have come to Game Pass that have been touted as like the bangers, they've not been good.
You got fucking Halo.
These so-called exclusive shit. Somebody's at my door. It's Phil Spencer.
Oh Jesus, Phil Spencer doing stuff. And let's see what is the release date of Scorn? You know that Alien Cock. Where's that?
Oh, you mean the cocksucking game with aliens? Oh.
Yeah, where's that game?
I have no idea.
That game has never looked good.
What is this release date?
Look, man.
They got it pending October 2022. Holy
You know what
shit.
I'm knocking Game Pass for, and I keep saying it? I knock Game Pass because they're doing exactly what we said they were going to do a couple of years ago. They're putting shit in there, seeing what's going to stick to the wall, and it's not good quality. And then here's the caveat. And then the stuff that is really good quality that's going on Game Pass, people are fucking not even talking about it.
Dude, they don't even. You didn't fucking learn your lesson from Crossfire X because that was on everybody's list.
You guys didn't fucking learn with Ori Part 2. Came and went. No, good game. Nobody fucking talked about it.
And they didn't learn that lesson with Crossfire X. That was on everybody's list.
You guys didn't learn with the last Horizon. You guys just fucking. Oh, we got good scores. Now I'm not talking about Forza 5. I'm talking about Forza 4. Like all these games that are coming to Game Pass are actually good. You guys are just worried about the Metacritic score, but they're not fucking moving a needle as far as like the industry is like, what are we doing here? You guys are just, we got this. We're happy. PlayStation doesn't have it. 2 months later, nobody's talking about the shit. It doesn't get reported NPDs because it's not selling. You guys don't fucking want to buy. I don't know. There's a fickle side to this whole thing, right? And it's primarily with Xbox. If this is the way we're going to move forward, and we think that the Game Pass route and the Microsoft route and the loser route is the future, gaming industry will die. If we go by the Xbox game studios and philosophy in a way where the game industry will crash, it will die. Gaming will not be what it used to be. Either that or maybe, like we keep saying, Xbox just turns into the Sega with the money, and they start publishing their own shit. But you know what they're going to do? They say, you guys can get Gears of War on PlayStation, but you got to have Game Pass on your PlayStation. Maybe they just go that route. We've completely and totally been saying this for years. That's the route they're going. They don't fucking want to make consoles anymore because you guys aren't buying games. They don't obviously give a fuck where you playing that because they're so interested in making sure that Sony doesn't hurt the PC market. So that's why they had to come out with the Xbox console. So the fact of the matter is, you guys can keep championing on bad games, going into a service, and you're paying a monthly service. What are you paying this monthly service? If Game Pass was Netflix, what kind of shitty ass movies would I be watching in it? You see what I'm saying? I don't get you guys. Like, why are you not saying
the frog is because listen, you're wasting your time with people that don't give a shit and all they want to do
care.
Because trust me, if you had a fucking brain in your head, you see this list of games here, and we're talking about Xbox first party games, and motherfuckers are telling me, Tunic's coming out. Two-Dick is coming out.
That's not for that.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like that. This is where I know. This is where I know that the people just you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you know exactly what. First off, I listed exactly what we were talking about. I said, where is the first party Xbox games are? Where is the list of games? Because they announced them. I'm not saying they don't have any games. I'm saying where is the details of what these games are? Because we talked about Horizon and how long Sony kept showing stuff about it more and more, getting you excited. Where is that with Fable? Where is that with Perfect Dark? Where is that with Avowed? Where is that? Avowed was a fucking leak from Jez Corden where he was talking about the oozing member and the lush mushrooms. Remember? I'm like, what the hell is this dude talking about? It was all like that he got some sort of papers and stuff and he was leaking it. Where was Microsoft to demonstrate this game? Where is it? Do we have to wait to E3? Like, I don't understand. And I'm not saying that Tunic is a bad game. This looks pretty damn cool. But when I'm showing that list and saying, where's Microsoft's first party? And some guy is telling me that Shred is a snowboarding game in the springtime and Tunic, dude, I'm not talking about these games. You're just listing games. And you're just listing games because they're in Game Pass. It's not like you fucking care about this game.
No, they don't. They're not playing that game.
Because look, as soon as you boot it up, it says coming to Game Pass. Like as soon as the game comes to Game Pass, it's all of a sudden on your radar. Like, what about just liking a game for liking a game? And the problem is that this didn't just happen now. This didn't just happen now. Think about it. And this is why I just want to cool our tongues here. Just so the last point is that here, Halo Infinite was supposed to launch with the Xbox Series X, right? It didn't. It came out the next year. What launched with the Xbox Series X? Nothing. They gave you Gears Tactics for a port from the previous, earlier in the year, PC port that they had on there. They didn't launch it with that. Then the next year, you'll be like, oh my God, well, Halo and whatever was supposed to come out in 2021 will be bangers. Well, what did come out? Psychonauts and Halo both were delayed from 2020. Pandemic, woo, everybody, pandemic changed everything. Okay, fine. Halo comes out and Psychonauts comes out. They announced Forza. If Halo and Psychonauts didn't get delayed from 2020, you would have just had Forza Horizon in 2020. Then, if Microsoft didn't go buy Bethesda for $7 billion, what would you have this year from their first party? They bought a whole bunch of studios in 2018. 343 is just trying to figure its shit out. What is the coalition working on? But
right, what are they doing?
Yeah, and so like the $7 billion from Bethesda made Starfield a game to come out this year, and that's the only game that's really coming from their first party. Then you say, oh, well, next year is going to be big. What's next year? What is it? Is it Avowed? Is it Fable? And then when I say you're hyped about it, what is the game? Did you see gameplay of it? Did you see anything? You didn't see anything of it. And it's like, well, like, how do you get excited for Wolverine? It's like, well, first off, it's fucking Wolverine. It's not Avowed. We don't know what Avowed is. Wolverine's a franchise. You know what Wolverine is. We don't know. And then we played Spider-Man.
And we look at this Insomniac's track record. They put out amazing video games.
Exactly. You played Spider-Man. So is Avowed just like Outer Worlds 2? Because they announced Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed too, which is crazy. Plus they're working on Grounded. And then people go on a list going, oh, they're making 2 other games as well. And it's just like, but then you go and you want to talk about Scorn and this those games were announced in 2019. They've been delayed. And then you talked about, I just talked about Crossfire. He said he talked about it from 2017 to 2019. They announced it at E3, and it came out in 2020 to 3 and 2s. Dude, like, what is going on? And then when you talk about, well...
Oh, wait, Jazz. We had some 3s and 2s and 4s on Horizon. Oh, my bad. That was user
those are the fan ones.
Those are user
reviews.
But you cannot... I don't get it.
I'm just
I don't get it.
Like, you cannot sit there and go, well, the pandemic, that's why everything got delayed. Hellblade 2, where's that? That should have had a release date for now. But then you go, what about the pandemic? Okay. All right, well, the pandemic, you're sitting here looking at it. How the hell is Sony getting out all these games? Even last year, they got Returnal and Ratchet out. In addition to now Horizon, Gran Turismo, God of War. Like, I don't understand. And then on top of that, doing second-party deals, which Microsoft's not even doing that stuff. Well, I guess with Stalker 2, and even that is...
Well, they don't have to, because they're just going in there and acquiring anybody.
Obviously, there's an issue. There's an issue with Microsoft and games. There has been since 2016. Since they talked about stuff going to PC, talking about Game Pass, there's been an issue with games and productivity. And you know what? You don't want to take this podcast word for it. I tell you right now, here it is.
When I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years with our first-party output.
That's always been a hit on the company on that. Whenever I hear some criticism,
that's Phil Spencer saying, when you think about Xbox, you want to think about quality. We have work to do there. Listen to the words. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best over the last few years. That was in 2019. He said that. That was off of Crackdown 3. Look at what they're doing to their franchises. Look what they did to Battletoads, Crackdown 3, and now what they did to Halo. They're basically like taking those big franchises that they used to rely on and just fucking killing them.
The people, if this Activision deal goes through, people who think they're going to resurrect all these great classic IPs.
That's Battletoads, how the resurrection was.
That's what I'm saying. I don't people because Rare has a ton of IP that Microsoft's not doing anything with. So, and when they do bring something back, they didn't even let Rare do it. They gave it to somebody else. I don't know who did Battletoads, but that was a disgrace. You know what I mean? So I have no faith in their leadership, their direction, or what they're trying to do. There's no clear. There's no. They don't. They're the talent level. When you compare their devs to what Sony has, they're still not even hitting the level of the PS4 generation with the quality. So I don't expect them to be putting out anything at the level of Horizon this whole generation. They're not.
Let me ask you this question, Lincoln Jazz. I think this is the first time in gaming, maybe console history, and I might be wrong, that we watched a console generation go basically into the next console generation with the same UI system. It didn't even feel like the system was really a different system outside of maybe saying, "Oh, you can go from this game to this game faster. This game." And it just says something.
yeah.
When you went from the Xbox One and how poorly they did in that generation, you figured this Series X. When I saw the console, I was like, okay, different look. And then they announced the Series X, and then like we got a Series S, and then the console comes out and you boot it up, and it's basically an Xbox One boot up for what it is. You get this UI, and you're like, yo, this is the same UI I've been playing with for the last umpteen years. It's still running at 1080p. Oh, we heard you. We're adding 4K. We heard you. We added a share button to the controller. What did you hear? It's an Xbox One that's more powerful that you took the name One off of and just called it Series this. And so my whole thing is, are they really even trying? They couldn't even get the simple things. Like I said,
they're not trying.
Like I said, when you boot up your PlayStation 5, you knew it was a completely new system. When I boot up that Series X, and shout out to Kids Move, because when I boot up my Series X, I was like, yo, this is the Xbox One boot up. This is the same thing. It felt like an Xbox One. It felt no difference. You didn't let the Series system does not say I'm in a new generation. Outside of the games playing better, it doesn't say I'm a new generation. It says I'm just still an Xbox One. Basically, we got leftover parts. We need to do something with them. Hey, let's take these controllers.
Well, what it does, Frogs, is it shows that their commitment to gaming is not where Sony's is when it comes to
not at all.
And so Sony said, okay, we're not going to just give you a more powerful console. We're going to take our controller and give you a better way to experience these games. We're going to give you a new UI. We're not just going to put Gen 3 SSD in there. No, we're going to put, at the time, the fastest SSD available, because we want our devs to make sure that they have, there's no bottlenecks in our system. We're not just going to say, we're not just going to throw teraflops at you. We're not just, we're giving you the whole experience.
You're misleading yourself if you read teraflop numbers.
We clearly now we're seeing that these Xbox continuously keeps getting outperformed in these comparisons with third party. So, I mean, honestly, when you see an Xbox game outperforming at this point, it's a surprise whenever an Xbox game is outperforming. I mean, the Xbox version is outperforming the PlayStation version.
I don't know what
the thing is. It's not an issue. It's just Sony designed a better system for gaming.
They did.
And so they listen to developers and what developers want, but forget about the hardware. Their level of commitment to gaming, as far as like pushing gaming forward, they're not interested in it. They're not interested in pushing gaming forward. Everything revolves around Game Pass and this stupid service. And I feel like that's just what it is.
I know. And the other thing too is like he talks about how Game Pass and cloud is moving things forward, right? That's moving things forward. But then when you play a game like Horizon, I'm like, how is this making a quality game moving things forward?
What you're talking about, Jazz? They said when you play Horizon, you play with that DualSense controller, it makes you never want to touch that controller. Yeah. When you're playing Horizon, you really realize like, yo, this wasn't a gimmick, dude. This was really,
and know what else too?
It's on another level.
When you're playing this, you know that other devs are playing this game. They're seeing what the machine is capable
how can we do this to our game?
This is how it works. Dude, we've been gaming like this. This is what devs do. They see this stuff and they'll steal. They'll take like, oh my God, look what they did with this lighting. Look at the trickery they did with the sky. I want this in my game. Look what they did with the bow and arrow with this controller. Look at what they did with this mission structure. Like, look after The Witcher. Look how many developers, besides Ubisoft, because they're trash. But, like, everybody trying to make extra, like, better. Like, I think The Witcher influenced the side missions in this game. Like, they knew
because they feel like they're freaking deep, man.
Exactly.
And The Witcher, to me, has some of the best side missions in game.
That's what moves the industry forward, is people getting inspiration. It's an art. People get inspired. They look at something and go, it inspires me to do something. That's why just talking about a service and a funding way of bootlegging games and getting piecemeal games and services and not focusing on the art and the quality of the content, you can't say like, oh, well, Phil says that's the future. He wants that to be the future. And just talking about
you don't want that future.
And just talking about like games like, oh, like Shredders and Scorns and like, dude, that's not moving anything. Well, Crossfire X, that's not moving anything forward. That's not telling somebody, hey, I should put my new first-person shooter in Game Pass. It got trashed. It doesn't inspire anybody. There's no inspiration in Game Pass. That's why they're buying publishers, because the inspiration from the gaming industry is not there. They need to buy publishers to force everybody through the service. Whereas when you make quality games, you inspire developers to do things to their games. The Witcher inspired people to make better side missions. That's where this comes in.
Yes.
People are going to see this game and go, I'm going to do this now because they did this in Horizon. They look at what Ratchet did.
And you know what, Jed? What you're saying, that's what makes your game good. That's what makes gaming good, because
that's what gaming is about. It's not about subscriptions. It's not about Phil in the cloud. That is interesting tech that maybe could influence and change our gaming and make it better or make it work. But that is not inspiration of growing the game.
And that's why people like you, me, and a lot of other people have problems with Halo, because Halo was at a point where
that's not inspirational, dude. That rat.
No, people
was not inspirational.
At the point the Halo 1s and 2s and 3s, people were taking stuff from Halo 1, 2, 3, so forth. They were like, yo, we got to do this with our shooter. Look what they did over it.
Exactly.
Now they don't do that anymore. They're like, nah, I ain't doing that with it. Nah, they can do that. I'm not doing what they did, because that's horrible.
Exactly.
They're not the role model of we need to do this anymore. They're just like, hey, we're just trying to live.
And I think you were saying, Frog, that they're competing with their own studios. Like their own studios are competing. Yeah. Sony's studios are like, you did this, well, we're gonna one up you on this stuff. That makes it so good. It does. It makes real good. And Gran Turismo is the next one that's coming up. So you better hold on to your things. I know
they're not. Sony ain't slowing down. They're not slowing down.
Xbox
so
this
is what people don't understand too, is that Sony's not going to slow down and wait for Microsoft to catch up.
Exactly.
They're going to continue to put. And you know what's crazy? There's a lot of Sony devs right now. We don't even know what the games.
Exactly.
We don't even know what they're working on. You got Naughty Dog is working on a new IP. You got Cory Barlog is working on a new IP.
Yep.
You got Sony Bend is working on a new IP. I could keep going down the list of studios that are working on. You got
Spider-Man 2. Oh, geez.
Right. You got studios that are working on
they're working on new IPs, but we already see the stuff they're giving us, and we see the quality. I mean, shit, for all intents and purposes, you got Halo on Vanity Fair. Like, it's just a big deal.
That's crazy.
Last time we had a character like that was like, back in the day with Laura Croft from Tomb Raider. And it's just like, we don't see that needle being moved. And I want it to be moved. I want to feel the way, somebody said it. It was an Xbox guy on Twitter. I can't remember his name, but he said it best. He said, "Man, I want games on my Xbox to move me like Horizon and God of War, and and because he said these games are just like."
But Frogs, are those type of? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
The thing is, I do too, because I bought the console, but at the same time, based on the way they're running this Xbox division and the type of output we're getting from their first party, should we really expect that?
No, and that's the thing.
We should not expect that, and I don't think anybody from on that primarily plays on Xbox should expect that. But you should want that, because I think if you want that and you're showing with your money, I'm not going to support. And I'm not saying don't support Game Pass, but I'm saying if you're not getting that stuff,
I'm saying it.
If you're not getting this stuff in your service, don't support it. Let them know we don't want to support the service, because what you're putting in the service is not what we want. Because eventually they're going to have to run to the beat of a different drum. They're going to have to say, yo, we got to do something different, because Game Pass is not working like we thought it was. And people are leaving in droves. And that will show them you got to create good content. Or at this point, just become a freaking software publisher and make your money like that. But you shouldn't want that.
But
I don't
really care about them staying in the business. My thing is when I don't. But Frog, this is what happened to me is when I played like Uncharted 4, and that was another thing. Like even when we were playing Uncharted 4 Remastered, we're like, holy crap! Like
Man.
this game held the test of time, and man, there's nothing that has beaten it. Like in this, this is amazing what this was doing back then, and that's that's the difference. Is like when I played that game, and when I started playing on PlayStation and playing these games like Horizon and Uncharted, it made me look at my Xbox going, well, like, do you have anything like this? Like, anything? Nothing. And that's why I just kept playing on PlayStation, because I knew that Xbox would never deliver this stuff. And that's 6 years later. They still haven't.
There's something that, and I know it's going to happen this year. And I'm calling it.
Hellblade is close to it, I guess, but who knows what that is?
When Hellblade finally gets its launch date, and they're talking about Hellblade, and we're all excited because we've seen the Hellblade, don't expect Sony to sit there and hold their punches and not announce a Bloodborne remake, remaster, or a Bloodborne sequel or some. Sony is so calculated with the PlayStation Studios. There's something big.
Like Link said, we don't know half the stuff that they're working on.
Look, we already know there's something big coming from some kind of Souls game on PlayStation. We know it. And I'm people are speculating the Bloodborne. If that happens, they shut everything down. The internet will explode.
Oh, that's good.
Listen, let me tell you something. Whenever I saw that tweet from Shuhei Yoshida,
I saw that tweet. Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you, because I don't know if people remember this, but like maybe the day before or a couple of days before, there were all these reports from a so-called insider that was saying there's not a Bloodborne sequel in development. There's not a Bloodborne remaster. There's nothing related to Bloodborne in development or whatever. So I was like, it's interesting that he made this little tweet maybe like the day after this so-called report was put out that there's nothing in development in regards to Bloodborne. I'm not saying this is Bloodborne, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's some kind of Bloodborne sequel or remaster.
Something's coming this big.
But Sony's, I'm telling you, man, they are locked and loaded. And and when Jim Ryan who said they are going to have more. Their first party output is going to be higher than it was on PS4.
I got the Herman Holtz.
A lot of people.
Right,
Herman Holtz said that. People doubted them because they started slow in the PS4 generation. They are not starting this generation out slow. And they're going to continue to put out high quality product. They're not waiting for Microsoft to catch up. I wish they would, but
and that's the thing.
They're not. Microsoft is not even. I'm telling you this. I don't see them putting out from their first party, Microsoft first party, putting out any games on the level of Last of Us Part 2 from the PS4 or Ghost of Tsushima
back there,
or. I don't see them matching that quality of the PS4, and Sony's going to exceed that this generation.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I'm going to read what Holtz said. So, like Holtz said, he goes, recently revealed that PlayStation Studios currently has 25 titles in development, with over half being new IP. He goes, I want us to develop a wide variety of games. We are truly a global organization, developing games in Japan, Europe, and America. I want games to be bigger and smaller in different genres. And then he goes, Holtz says that the PS5 lineup showcased this variety with a mix of internal and external developers. And that's the other thing, their partnerships. Like even the KOTOR thing, that came out of the blue, right? Such as AAA Juggernauts, Insomniacs, releasing Marvel's Ultimate Spider-Man. Let's get to more quotes. Horizon Forbidden West, God of War sequel, Gran Turismo 7 are all in development, but Holtz also teased some new projects. There's a lot more that we've got in store that's still unannounced. We have discussed a new partnership with Jane Raymond's New Haven Studios. I met with her and some of her and a team, and I'm really excited about what they're working on now. Let me get to my yacht. So then he goes, Holtz looks into the future, and now this I thought was pretty interesting. He goes, so he sees that Sony exclusives as a big part of it, but doesn't expect core franchises to jump ship to Xbox. However, there's a chance that some titles may appear on PC, like we saw with Horizon and Days Gone. The one exception to the rule is MLB The Show. I think people have realized that it's actually MLB Advanced Media that published it on Xbox, not us. So stop that fucking shit, he said. Anyway, he goes, I honestly can't see us doing anything with platform-defining experiences that we're making only on PlayStation Studios because it's about the quality games. Then he ends it all with this. He goes, he talks about the PC thing. He goes, typically, there has been about 2 years between the release of our platform and PC platform.
but you can realize on us to continue to create platform-defining exclusive content for PlayStation. That's part of the reason why we exist. It's really important for us to squeeze the maximum out of the platform, to build showcase for the platform, and to really let the audience see that these features are contributing to the overall experience. And then he goes, we are growing PlayStation Studios. We are investing.
And whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
For new developers, we continue to focus on quality and continue to focus on experiences that, in my mind, are experiences that matter, that sometimes only could have been created by us. This is what I stand for, and I will ensure that we're going to carry on making those.
Dude. The strong words of Triple H, head Herman Holtz.
That's about quality games.
Who are you with the splits in the chat? Dude, Herman Holtz is a badass son of a bitch. But you hear
the passion. It is about quality.
But you hear the approach, because I could go back and we could do some Phil Ness where he's like, we're one family now. This is the PC, washes my ass cheeks, kumbaya. It's not about the Xbox console anymore. It's about more people to play our shit. And, you know, even though our games don't, and people are not playing, and this is the problem. You go back and listen to Phil's approach. He basically shuns the Xbox core fan group, like console. Like, you're just part of our thing. We are going to, you know, PC, and you guys can come along if you want. But PC is where it's at. Thank you, War Angel, for subscribing, joining the Grindhouse. Welcome to the Grindhouse. So the point is like when Phil was doing this stuff, it was about PC, one thing. Like, it was all bull. It was demeaning and not good to the face. Oh, yeah, PSVR 2. Everybody reminds me of that, definitely. That, too, on top of all this stuff. But when you look at that, you look how Phil's approach was, like, just abandoning that Xbox, you know? Just burn, like, you know, the core audience. He gave you Crossfire X. There's your console exclusive, bitch. And it's like, oh my God, 3? 2? What? And then you look at Herman Holtz, and he's like, yeah, we're putting shit on PC, but don't fucking get confused. We're promoting quality on PlayStation, and that's why we're here, is because of you, console guys. Because of you, the PlayStation owner, the person that spent $500 plus on our product. We're delivering the premium experience to you. Everybody else can get second fiddle, but you are the most important part to us, and we're making this stuff for you. That's something that Microsoft never did.
But Jazz, you got to pay for it though.
You gotta pay for it. You pay for quality, dude.
Wait a minute.
You gotta pay for it.
But they're complaining about that. Oh, why do I got to buy this? I don't want to, you know. Why Sony trying to sell you full price games? Why don't they make a listen? Why don't they? You know, they're like, you know, this whole, if everything turns into some kind of freaking service, we're not gonna get games like Horizon and God of War. Nope.
Like, it's not going to. And you want to know why it's not going to? Because the shit that Microsoft is spewing, Crossfire X and stuff. I said the carpet doesn't match the drapes. They're talking a big game with the service, dude. They're talking a big game with the service, but the content is fucking forgettable. That's the problem. Like, Crossfire X is not inspiring anybody. It's exactly serving the purpose of what we expected Game Pass to be. Some fucking dumbass shit that just gets thrown in there and nobody cares. But you might get a gem here or there. But guess what? Are you paying $180 to get a gem of a game maybe in there that you probably would have bought anyway? The whole point of Game Pass is like, it saves me money because it basically gives me games that I would never want to buy. That's the sales pitch for Game Pass. It's that it's a service that gives you games that you had no interest in, that you didn't think were worth the face value, that you had no interest in at all. You thought was trash, but you'll give it a shot. How do you make gaming that? Everything that you do when you sit in front of your console is like, oh, this game looks like shit, but it's there. I could click on it. Let me do that. Who wants to waste their time doing that stuff when you know? And you want to know why I know that's going to fail? Because the whole reason why pre-orders exist. You're so excited to get a game that you're willing to give money before the game even comes out.
Exactly.
That's why this Game Pass model will never work until there's games in there that people want to play and it's in there consistently, not once every 6 months or maybe a gem shows up, because people don't want to do that with gaming. People don't want to just sit in front of games and bullshit.
What did Jim Ryan say? What's it Jim Ryan that said that putting games in a service just isn't?
It's not.
I remember Sony.
Yeah, he says that it's not.
It's not financially feasible for us to spend that kind of money and then throw it in the service. How do you make your money back? How do you make your money back?
You know how you make it back.
You're talking about a company. You're talking about people who are talking about a $1 trillion company, and they're confusing the Microsoft with the Xbox because they're so focused on the Microsoft $1 trillion company that they don't realize that Xbox company.
Microsoft trillion. What happened to Mixer? What happened to Mixer?
Yeah, exactly.
Microsoft $1 trillion company.
They don't care.
But Microsoft is a company that will. Microsoft is a company that will just get rid of something quickly. And I don't think what a lot of people realize is at the end of the day, Sony has to make money.
Yeah.
And Sony makes a lot of their money from PlayStation. Whereas most of Microsoft's money is not made from Xbox.
No, it's not.
Most of the money is not made from Xbox.
Guess what?
And people hype that up. That's actually not good.
They're positioned as a company, Xbox as a company, which is a division of Microsoft, to continue to make money in gaming, even if they have to exit the hardware business.
Exactly.
Because they're stockpiling a bunch of studios. So even if their hardware division decides, they're like, you know what?
They're prepared to be a software publisher.
Third party.
We can be like Sega and continue to make games and sell them, or put them in a service or whatever, and we can still make money in gaming without hardware.
They'll be like
but the thing is, yes, you're not. They're like, this service is undermining their business model as far as I'm telling you, people expecting these huge blockbuster, multiple $100 million games.
I can't wait. Please tell me.
Are not going to be getting it.
Nope.
They're just not going to get it. These studios, you know what I'm saying? Like these studios, we're going to get snackable. What is it? Snackable games that are made for this service. Exactly. Look at Halo as an example.
Exactly.
Halo should be an example for. If they could do this to Halo, they can do it to any of the games. Any of them.
Yep.
I know. And that's the thing. If they do that with Halo, they're going to do it with Perfect Dark. They'll do it with Fable. They'll do it with anything. But the thing is like, if you read that, yes, Sony, and I said, Sony will dab and put their games on PC and do that stuff. But the problem is that they're not doing it to compromise their console. Microsoft compromised their console in their movement. And I don't like Game Pass being the be-all and end-all of everything that Microsoft does. I think they need to be tiers. They need to be that they can release games without going into Game Pass, because that's going to be a hindrance on how they get these deals. Like, we're talking about that Street Fighter thing. Like, who knows? Like, maybe Microsoft's like, oh, right, we want Street Fighter on our platform. And Capcom's like, well, we don't want to put it on there. And then Microsoft's like, well, we'll have to put it in Game Pass then. And it's like, like, do they want to put their game in Game Pass? Do they think that's going to hurt their PlayStation sales because people just go subscribe? I don't know. But the thing is like, it is a hindrance in their negotiations if they want to put a game in Game Pass, because I said the inspiration, the mind share is not there. That's why they're forced to buy these publishers, because they want to control the distribution and the way the games are being made to be manipulated for their service. And Halo is the perfect example. Nobody was coming out saying free-to-play Halo, but they decided to do that because they had a service as a crutch. So, there you go. But those are the final words, man. We had an epic show. I'm glad that, we got back on here. We were pretty vicious. Our tongues were hot. It was firing on all cylinders. I want to thank Link and Frog for bringing it in there.
I'm ready to get back on this. Get back on this Horizon.
I got to get on that Horizon. Yeah. That's why I'm kicking everybody off the show, because I want to get.
Just to make it clear, pull it out there, man. Like, the reality is, we do realistically, all of us here, I believe, I want to see that Xbox.
It would be wonderful, Frog. Have like a response to Horizon and go back and forth.
This does not make gaming better. It doesn't.
No, I just hate people saying Game Pass is the future when you're playing Horizon and going, this is incredible. it would be nice if and back in the day they did have that. Like you had your Metal Gear Solid versus your Halo 3, and you're like, boom, oh damn, man, when you're going back and forth. You want Microsoft to respond to Horizon, going, here's our Horizon, Hellblade 2, open world, big, huge, and now you're going back and forth between the two of them. But again, we don't know what Microsoft is. And again, I'm not saying here, again, the main thing is, I'm not saying that Xbox doesn't have any games, but like, the games that they have,
they gotta do better.
Dude, where are they? They announced them years ago, and they have not shown gameplay or anything about them. And we've been seeing that the games they've been releasing recently have been coming in hot or coming in broken or 2s and 3s with Crossfire. Like this is not good messaging because it doesn't give you hope for the future of like, what about these other games that are coming out? Are they going to be polished? Or are they going to have the equal number of excuses that Halo had? After a year delay, they're still asking for more time. That's horrible to just fix things, not even for new content. And they're not even teasing any new content. It shows that they can't even talk about new stuff because they're still trying to fix the shit that make the game work. It's horrible. After a year delay, what the hell is it going to look like in 2020? But anyway, that's time for another story, and I'm going to be doing some grinds bites on some other things. I know the whole thing with Phil approaching Kodak first with the check. You can put the check in there. You know, he went out there just like John Cusack holding up the check. He sniffed out the death of Activision. Activision wasn't going to Phil. Phil sniffed him out. He goes, what? Deal of the century. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. But everybody hit that like button. We had over 160 people live. Thank you for coming in to the Grindhouse. Hit that like button, share it out. Thank you to the new subscribers, new VIP members. Hit that join button to get the new emojis and share it out. And stay tuned to the channel for new Grinds Bite. Thank you, Frogs. Tell them where they can find you. And so can you, Link. Tell them where they can find you. Link, go first.
Oh man, I might pop up randomly here and there on this show and some other ones on YouTube. Of course I'm on Twitter, but I don't really need to be located.
Don't find them.
Nah. Good show. Great show.
Thanks. And check out Frogs. Frogs has been streaming a lot. Frogs, tell them put the link in the thing.
So every morning I do something called the combo. And I wake up at 7, obviously. Trying to get my sleep pattern pretty good. Anybody who's been in the military or just has some insomnia, you can kind of know your sleep pattern can be messed up. So I try to get my sleep pattern straight. And usually I will wake up at 7 now, but I try to start a stream. Most of the time I'm playing Destiny 2, just because it's kind of relaxing. But I do something every morning called the Convo. I try to keep it friendly, family friendly, because I know people at work and they don't hear a lot of profanity, a lot of craziness. So I try to keep it pretty clean. But I try to do it in the morning, have my cup of coffee, eat a bagel, and just have a conversation of a couple of topics. Sometimes it stays on track and then sometimes I go on a tangent, but it's kind of good, for me. And it seems that people are starting to like it. So if you want to check me out, it's Frogs Dreams on YouTube. Every morning, I'm doing the combo on at least 3 topics. On Twitter, it's at Frogs Dreams. Man, I can't wait till Elden Ring comes out. I'm so excited.
You got to talk about that.
Right now, I'm downloading the whole Witch Queen stuff right now. Pretty excited about that. We'll see what happens. Just check me out, man. If you guys like me, I'm trying to get my 500 subscribers. Not really for pay. I'm trying to get 500 because apparently when you get 500, you can go live on your phone. And I want to be able to leave the house and go do things and go live and just talk about different things like my mini clubman that I have, and when I'm at the firing range shooting different weapons, talking about that. It's just a lot of stuff I want to talk about outside of just gaming. So hopefully I can reach my 500 subscribers so we can talk about have different conversations about different things.
Nice. Well, thank you again, Frogs. Glad we're back. Grindhouse open. We had a huge show, man. 165 people.
You gotta get some tea with some honey in it.
Damn, yo, man, I've been coughing, man. We had some crazy people in the chat. Shout out to all the defenders and the grinders for getting on.
Hey, shout out to Kids Move for stopping by.
It's wild times, man. Great games.
Man, hey,
people go
Smooth,
crazy.
if you hear me now, man, Smooth, realistically, man, I want the console you play on to be better, and I will hope that you want that too. Not just for fanboy stuff, just because I want you guys to have good games if that's your primary play, because I want to be able to have that console sitting right next to the console of my console choice saying, damn, I got good games here and here. it's good for everybody.
It is good. I'm gonna go back to Horizon now. I gotta play some greatness because
Yeah,
that was the
most
thing that
definitely, most
really
definitely.
amazing show. So like amazing show, amazing game. Check me out. I might do some streaming. Definitely you're gonna see some more photos from me. And I want to thank everybody for coming through. And we are out. And stay tuned for Grind's Bite coming on later in the week. Talk to you guys later. Thanks again. Bye.
Thank you.